The era of Beast Girls begins with a pact with an SSS-Level School Beauty. Hey! Look who's back for more adventures. We love having you here to continue this story that keeps us all awake. Important note, all of this is pure fiction. So don't try any techniques you hear here in real life, your neighbor might call the cops. This amazing novel and all its rights belong to the original author. We're just the ones giving it voice and drama. Are you enjoying the show? Prove it by subscribing to our YouTube channel and leaving that like that motivates us so much. And if you want VIP access to exclusive content, our Patreon is waiting with things you won't find anywhere else. Chapter 326 Alliance Leader Xie ran. The main hall of the Supreme Alliance was tightly closed, with a sign indicating it was a rest day hanging beside it. A beautiful young woman in a yellow dress furtively tiptoed around, looking left and right. Seeing no one was around, she leaped through a window and entered the hall. I smelled Master's aura. She must have finished her seclusion. Once inside, she became more relaxed, no longer acting suspiciously, and strolled around the hall as if she were in charge. Master isn't on the first floor, let's go up to the second floor. No outsiders allowed? I'm not an outsider. Seeing the no outsiders allowed sign at the top of the stairs, Huangfu Xiangling ignored it and headed straight for the second floor. The second floor was a private office area, still deserted. She skipped over the second floor and ascended the stairs to the third floor. There was a protective barrier at the top of the stairs, preventing outsiders from reaching the third floor, but Huangfu Xiangling ignored it and walked over to the third floor. The third floor of the Alliance Leaders Hall is the rest area, the personal rest area of the Supreme Alliance Leader. On the sofa in the living room, there were 3 pieces of clothing, a purple dress and 2 pairs of underwear. Huangfu Xiangling's beautiful eyes lit up. She walked over, picked them up, and felt them against her face. The next moment, she smiled, exclaiming joyfully, "Warm? These were just changed yesterday. Master has indeed finished his seclusion." She gently put the clothes back in their place, then tiptoed, crouched low, and raised her head to the bedroom. She gently pushed open the door, peeked inside, and her eyes immediately lit up. She rushed in, smiling. Inside the bedroom, beneath the hanging purple gauze, on the bed, a thin sheet was kicked aside. Beside the sheet, a stunningly beautiful, naked mature woman lay on her side, her long legs curled up. She possessed an impressive figure, incredibly voluptuous, but her beautiful face was remarkably pure, her aura serene. At first glance, she appeared as an ethereal, otherworldly fairy, untouched by worldly concerns. Huangfu Xiangling gently closed the door, tiptoed to the bedside, moved a stool under the bed beside the pillow, sat down, propped her chin on her hands, and stared intently at the pure and beautiful face of the mature woman. So beautiful, I want to possess her. If only I could be with Master forever. If only I could form a contract with Master. Being with Master makes me so happy. She murmured to herself, watching, until drowsiness slowly crept in, and she fell asleep with her head on the edge of the bed. As she slept, Huangfu Xiangling felt herself being lifted up and placed on the soft bed, filled with her favorite scent. Unconsciously, a clear drool trickled from the corner of her rosy lips, down her white chin, and dripped onto the pillow. Under the bed, Xie Ran, the leader of the Supreme Alliance, who had just woken up, had a few black lines appear on her beautiful forehead. She had the urge to wake Huangfu Xiangling, but after hesitating, she picked up a tissue and gently wiped her face. Sigh, they're both unfortunate children, which makes her very dependent on me. But dependence is one thing, Xiangling's orientation is abnormal, she often wants to be intimate with me, what should I do? Leader Xie Ran was a little worried. Without even putting on her clothes, she went straight into the bathroom to take a bath. If Huangfu Xiangling wasn't asleep, she definitely wouldn't be taking a bath at this time, otherwise Huangfu Xiangling would most likely barge in and jump into the bathtub to soak together. They were both women, and they were master and disciple. Under normal circumstances, it wouldn't be a problem if they were seen, but this disciple liked women. I've gained some weight here, but my waist hasn't. My height hasn't increased, I'm still 1.75 meters. After bathing, she changed into her purple dress, stood in front of the full-length mirror, and looked at herself with some self-admiration. A pure face, bright eyes and white teeth, breathtakingly beautiful. No wonder Xiangling is so infatuated with me, I'm just too charming. In the Dragon Kingdom, there are only 2 who can compare to me, Yangtze from the Demon City and the Empress of Hangzhou. At this moment, A beautiful figure rushed over, nestled her head into her arms, and said happily, "Master, you are the most beautiful in the world. Young Xie and the Empress can't compare to you." Being held so tightly, Xiren felt a little awkward, as if she had been offended. She gently pushed her away and said reproachfully, "I have something very important to ask you." Huangfu Xiangling blinked and asked, "What is it?" Alliance leader Xiren said bluntly, "Are you planning to spend your whole life with me? Don't you want to form a contract with a man?" Huangfu Xiangling nodded her little head vigorously, "Yes. Master is so beautiful, and we haven't formed a contract, so why don't I just spend my life with Master?" A fierce glint appeared in her beautiful eyes as she said, "Those stinking men are all bad. Don't even think about touching my master and Huangfu Xiangling. They are not worthy of forming a contract with us." Alliance leader Xiren's face darkened, her heart skipped a beat. Just as she had expected, this disciple had a problem with her orientation. No, she had to think of a way to bring Xiangling back to the normal track, to straighten her out of her gay state. Beep beep beep. At this moment, the communicator beeped with a notification of a received message. It was a message from the Director of Admissions, Golden Lion Supreme. Today was the day of the once-in-a-decade expansion of the Supreme Alliance. Xiren opened the communicator to check the message. Alliance leader, the template for the newly recruited member is suspected to be a mythical level template above SSS level. It's highly likely, but uncertain. The Alliance leader needs to investigate the specific information. The following is the incomplete information about the contracted pair Shanghai-based City Kunpeng Supreme, Yunbing. Template attributes, spatial attribute, dark attribute realm, Supreme 3rd Tier Shanghai Academy student, Xiao Ye, Beast Tamer talent, attributes, spatial attribute, dark attribute, realm, 9th level of venerable realm, mythical level template. Oh. Xiren's rosy lips parted slightly, her surprise wide enough to fit an egg. A mythical level template, that's a legendary template level, existing only in legends, never appearing in reality. The highest level template in reality is only SSS level. Wait? Yunbing? Isn't that Yunzai's sister from Shanghai? And this guy named Xiao Ye, a student? Xiren looked at the stunningly beautiful Huangfu Xiangling and smiled. "Xiangling, I'm not the most beautiful in this world. There are many who can compare to me. I'm going to meet one later. Do you want to come along? HMPH, it's time to let my disciple meet an outstanding young man. Let her know that men aren't what she imagines, rigid and traditional, ruthless and cold." Mythical level Beast Tamer talent Xiao Ye? If only this kind of peerless genius, appearing only once in 10,000 years, could straighten Xiangling out of her shell. Huangfu Xiangling's beautiful eyes lit up, and she exclaimed excitedly, "I want to go. I'd go anywhere as long as I can be with Master." Xiren. Chapter 327 The Terrifying Combat Power of the Mythical Template. Xiren flicked her sleeve, opening a blue halo-like spatial portal, and said softly, "Our destination is a secret realm. Let's go." Huangfu Xiangling leaped inside. Xiren followed. Meanwhile, -007. Inside the spatial node's secret realm, it was a world plunged into darkness, without a single ray of light, everywhere gloomy, like the dead of night, only bone-chilling darkness. Xiao Ye and Yunbing descended into a forest, so dark they couldn't see their own hands in front of their faces. Dark attribute secret realm. Yunbing was somewhat surprised and said, "This is a secret realm on the verge of collapse, a secret realm about to become a chaotic land. The chaotic rules of the dark attribute are rampant in the space. We can't see the surrounding environment with our naked eyes, and our mental probing is also greatly weakened." Xiao Ye asked curiously, "How many years will it take for the secret realm to completely become a chaotic land?" Yunbing thought for a moment, "About 1,000 years. After 1,000 years, this secret realm will be unsuitable for life. Even low-level supreme beings cannot easily step into it." Xiao Ye's lips twitched. 1,000 years? That's a long way off. Dark attribute control. Controlling dark factors can deprive vision, emit death rays, incite evil thoughts in people's hearts, transform into shadow and escape into the darkness, and has many other wonderful uses. Inherited from the mythical level Venerable King Kunpeng template, the talent skill is activated. The omnipresent dark energy surrounding them would be a disturbance and repulsion for others, but for the two who possessed dark attribute control, it was like fish in water. Their vision instantly brightened, as if piercing through the darkness, their sight becoming clearer and wider than in daylight. After Yunbing's special template was upgraded, it gained a new attribute, the Dark attribute. There are indeed many Dark attribute magical beast races here, and their highest realm is... Yunbing sensed for a moment and was quite surprised. Every magical beast race has a Supreme Realm expert. On this mountain range alone, there are 2 Supreme Realm experts, but these Supreme Realm magical beasts seem to be stuck at the first level of the Supreme Realm. The Supreme Alliance is as grand as ever. They can even keep Supreme Realm magical beasts in captivity. The Secret Realm has high-level restrictions, so even if these Supreme Realm magical beasts can tear through space, they can't escape from this Secret Realm. Xiao Ye was a little itchy and said, "First level of the Supreme Realm is great. Should we catch a couple and keep them for fun?" He took out the Secret Realm rules and regulations and looked at them. There were only 3 rules. 1. It is forbidden to destroy the surface of the Secret Realm on a large scale. 2. It is forbidden to slaughter magical beasts on a large scale. 3. It is forbidden to spy on the heart of the Secret Realm. It did not say that it was forbidden to capture or kill magical beasts. Xiao Ye thought about capturing some high-level combat power and taking them to the Bronze Palace dimensional world. The Bronze Palace can house magical beasts at or below the Saint Realm, and it can easily house some Supreme Realm magical beasts as well. Yunbing looked at Xiao Ye with a strange expression, then nodded and said, "Okay. But what's the point of capturing these high-level magical beasts? It's such a hassle. You can extract the fragment crystals and capture low-level magical beasts, right?" Faced with her question, Xiao Ye moved closer to her, raised his hand, and gave her pert bottom a heavy slap, chuckling, "Don't you understand the concept of collecting? Maybe one day these Supreme Realm magical beasts will be of use to me. With a wave of my hand, thousands of Supreme Realm magical beasts will obey my command and charge towards the enemy. Just thinking about that spectacular scene makes my blood boil." Yunbing rubbed her pert bottom, rolled her beautiful eyes at him, and said, "Thousands of them? You're daydreaming. The Magic City base only has 10 Supreme Realm beasts on the surface. If you really had thousands of obedient Supreme Realm magical beasts, you could easily wipe out the entire Magic City base." Xiao Ye slapped her pert bottom again, this time on the right side, whereas he'd slapped the left side before. He chuckled. "So, are you in or not? Our goal this time is to extract fragments of reincarnation-type resources, but just extracting fragments is too monotonous." Yunbing's beautiful eyes widened. Xiao Ye's 2 slaps had caused her panties to sink in, and she awkwardly straightened them, saying, "Yes. But before that, you have to satisfy me first." Yunbing pouted and thrust her lips towards him. Xiao Ye couldn't even speak, quickly feeling his mouth dry. All the moisture in his mouth completely gone. He hurriedly pushed away the blunt and rude Yunbing, wiped the drool from his mouth, he didn't know whose it was, and said with a dark expression, "I've noticed something about you." Yunbing was a little unhappy about being pushed away, but she leaned closer again and snorted, "We can talk about it later, I haven't had my fill yet." Seeing her charming and beautiful mature face rapidly approaching, Xiao Ye raised his hand, opened his palm, and used it to block Yunbing's face, saying quickly, "Wait. Have you never kissed anyone before? So rough and clumsy, do you think I'm a juicer? Really?" Yunbing slapped his hand away and snorted, "I've lived for 1,500 years, and I've only kissed you once, no more than 3 times. So what if I'm clumsy? Do you want me to kiss other people to gain experience?" Xiao Ye's lips twitched, "Then no need. If you don't know how, I'll teach you." Yunbing's beautiful face came closer again, "Then hurry up, I can't stand it anymore." Xiao Ye was silenced and mumbled his instructions. "First like this, then like that, and then like this again. Yes, be gentle, give and take." 10 minutes later, it was over. Xiao Ye praised, "You have a real talent for this. Looks like I'll have to teach you more when we get back, he." Yunbing raised her head proudly and said, "That's right, but don't teach me anything too indecent, or I, a supreme being, might lose face." Xiao Ye nodded and said, "It's okay, you're shameless anyway." Yunbing. Next, the two began capturing Supreme Being level magical beasts. In this vast, ancient secret realm of dark attributes, there were many large groups of magical beasts, and each group contained one or even more Supreme Being level dark attribute magical beasts. Yunbing was a Supreme Being level 3rd tier beast with a mythical grade template, possessing both special and dark attributes, making it easy for her to capture Supreme Being level first-tier magical beasts, spatial imprisonment, spatial solidification, imprisoning a space. Everything within it seems to be trapped in a spatial quagmire, slowed down or completely imprisoned. Spatial power spread out, the innate skill activated, instantly affecting 100 miles away. The entire massive mountain range, centered on Yunbing, began to stand still. The leaves rustling in the wind stopped, the grass bending in the wind stopped, and even the wind itself froze in midair. Including the 3 dark attribute magical beast clans within this mountain range, thousands of magical beasts, whether defecating, cultivating, fighting, or eating, regardless of their cultivation level, were all imprisoned in place, completely still. The 3 supreme-level magical beasts that were procreating, fighting, or cultivating were also imprisoned without moving a single toe or eyelash. Chapter 328 Endless Capture, Supreme Beings in Formation! Exclamation mark. The space solidified, imprisoning their bodies, but their minds could still think. All 3 races and all the magical beasts were plunged into panic and fear. The Supreme Realm magical beasts, in particular, felt the greatest terror. Previously, whenever a Supreme Realm human arrived, they would seek to kill them. Now, it was certain that a high-level Supreme had arrived. What? My life is over. Damn it, humans deserve to die. Imprisoning us in this world, treating us like animals. My life is over. The 3 first-tier Supreme Realm magical beasts, whether they were making babies, cultivating, or fighting, all paled instantly, sensing impending doom. Looking at the imprisoned mountain range stretching for hundreds of miles, Yunbing exclaimed in surprise, so little energy was used, yet the effect is phenomenal. The mythical level template is terrifying. Xiao Ye nodded in agreement, very terrifying. Yunbing pondered the comparison and said, if it were an SSS level template, using this amount of energy would at most imprison a space within a 10-mile radius, but now it has imprisoned a space within a 100-mile radius. A space within a 100-mile radius is dozens, nearly 100 times, larger than a 10-mile radius. The power of a mythical level template is at least 100 times greater than that of an SSS level template. Xiao Ye released his spiritual power and discovered a Supreme Realm Tier 1 magical beast that was imprisoned, as if it had been frozen in place. With a thought, he summoned the Bronze Palace. Buzz buzz buzz. The small and exquisite Bronze Palace appeared in his palm, biological capture function activated, capable of capturing creatures at the Saint Realm and below. The Bronze Palace released a radiance, projecting it onto the Supreme Realm magical beast. Whoosh! A flash of light appeared. The magical beast wasn't immediately captured and taken to the Bronze Palace. Chains appeared on its body, connecting it to this realm and preventing it from leaving. Yunbing explained, these are restrictions set up by the Supreme Alliance for these Supreme Realm magical beasts. With these restrictions, they can't tear through space to escape the secret realm. Xiao Ye nodded, his brow furrowing in doubt, with these restrictions, can the Bronze Palace really? Before he could finish speaking, the Bronze Palace projected another beam of red light, instantly illuminating the Supreme Realm magical beast. Crack! Crack! The chains connecting the magical beast to the realm shattered inch by inch, eventually dissipating into specks of light. Whoosh! A flash of light, and the first-tier Supreme Realm magical beast vanished. Supreme Realm magical beast captured successfully. The Bronze Palace transmitted a message. Xiao Ye laughed, it's feasible. A Bronze Palace at the quasi-emperor level of perfection can easily capture not only this one magical beast, but even this ancient dark attribute secret realm. Yunbing reached out and captured the remaining 2 supreme-level magical beasts not far in front of her. However, one of the supreme-level magical beasts was mating, and the female great venerable level magical beast was also captured. This is truly an eyesore. Xiao Ye, hurry up and capture them. Yunbing widened her eyes, looking left and right, even leaning closer to look. Her mature face was full of curiosity, but her words betrayed her disdain. Capture. Xiao Ye activated the Bronze Palace's capture function. Capturing the great venerable level magical beast and the 2 supreme level magical beasts into the Bronze Palace's dimensional world. The Bronze Palace possessed its own incomplete and independent restrictive laws, capable of automatically setting up restrictions. Once the supreme level magical beasts were sent inside, they could not escape. Xiao Ye patted her pert buttocks and said, what's so interesting about this? Let's move on to the next magical beast mountain range. The 2 leaped into the air, transforming into rainbow, heading towards a massive magical beast mountain range even taller than this one. Their speed was swift, but Yun Bing found it too slow. She grabbed Xiao Ye's hand and directly entered space. After a fluctuation of spatial energy, they teleported instantly to the summit of the massive mountain range 1,000 miles away. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. A racial war was raging among the top races on this mountain range, all gathered at the summit. Some grand venerable magical beasts transformed into darkness, disappearing into shadows and directly annihilating the shadows and killing the magical beasts. Some venerable level magical beasts released death rays, their eyes like laser cannons, piercing through more than 10 lower level magical beasts. Some grand venerable level magical beasts released the characteristics of darkness, arousing the inner demons and evil thoughts of hostile magical beasts, causing them to lose their minds and indiscriminately kill each other. The largest battle involved 6 first-tier Supreme Realm magical beasts, clashing head-on in pairs at an altitude of 10,000 meters. Even a slight ripple of the battle obliterated a black clouds covering 100 miles in the sky. Having vanished into space and residing on its other side, Xiao Ye stood unharmed beside the Supreme Realm beasts. He had never witnessed such a battle at the Supreme Realm level before, and he watched with great interest, finding it quite fascinating. However, Yun Bing grew impatient. With a wave of her hand, she unleashed her spatial imprisonment talent skill, instantly causing spatial fluctuations that affected the entire mountain peak. In an instant, all the magical beasts seemed frozen in place, as if under a spell. Whether on the ground, underground, in the shadows, in the darkness, or in midair, or even the energy rays and energy handprints in the air, everything froze. This world seemed to freeze, becoming a chaotic yet artistic spatial painting. Xiao Ye, hurry up and collect them. A powerful aura is approaching us, Yun Bing said with a grave expression. Xiao Ye nodded and activated the Bronze Palace's capture function at maximum power. Buzz buzz buzz. The Bronze Palace projected 2 beams of light from the back of the space, piercing through the space and arriving at the front. The light, like sunlight, shone on the entire battlefield. Green and red light shone on all the magical beasts. Crack crack crack. Chains of restriction connecting heaven and earth appeared on all the magical beasts, but when exposed to the red light, they shattered inch by inch, breaking into countless fragments of ineffective energy, and the restriction was lifted. Under the green light, the capture function was activated. Swish swish swish. The light flashed, and one after another, magical beasts, all at the Supreme Realm, Great Venerable Realm, Grandmaster Realm, and Grandmaster Realm, were captured and brought into the Bronze Palace. Instantly, on the mountain range, apart from the scattered energy frozen in place, all the magical beasts vanished. Xiao Ye counted, he had captured 4 Supreme Realm beasts, 120 Great Venerable Realm beasts, over 1,000 Venerable Realm beasts, and tens of thousands of low-level magical beasts at the Grandmaster and Master Realm levels, a truly bountiful harvest. After the captures were complete, the Bronze Palace automatically returned to Xiao Ye's palm. Yun Bing waved her hand, dispelling the spatial confinement and restoring the scene to normal, saying, "They've arrived." With 2 whooshes, 2 graceful figures swiftly flew in from afar, arriving before Yun Bing and Xiao Ye. One was a pure and elegant older woman in a purple dress, and the other a mischievous-looking girl in yellow. They were Ziran and Huangpu Xiangling. Chapter 329 Ziran, Yun Bing, are you really hungry? Even through the distance, Xiao Ye could tell how pure and innocent the woman in purple was. Unlike Yun Bing's alluring and fiery nature, or Yun Zai's aloof and unapproachable demeanor, she possessed a different kind of exquisite, pure beauty. Beside her stood a graceful young girl with bright, lively eyes that sparkled with a mischievous charm. This lively girl, like a monkey, placed her hand on her eyebrows, looked around, and frowned, saying, "Master, there's no one here. Not a single bird feather. Have you come to the wrong place?" Ziran smiled gently, her smile blooming like a lotus flower, and said, "Look down there, at the lingering aftershocks of the battle." Huangpu Xiangling looked down at the mountain peak below. Sure enough, there were massive aftershocks of battle energy, indicating a large-scale battle had just taken place. But strangely, apart from the energy aftershocks, there was nothing else. Where are all the monsters? Even if they are, we can't take their corpses, right? Huangfu Xiangling scratched her head, her CPU practically overheating. Ziran smiled faintly and said to the person in front of her, "Kunpeng Supreme, Aren't you going to come out and have a chat? Yun Bing shrugged, pulled Xiao Ye, and moved from the back of the space to the front, appearing in front of the two of them. She said expressionlessly, "What's there to talk about? Don't be so narcissistic. We didn't join the Supreme Alliance for you." Oh. Huangfu Xiangling's mouth opened slightly. There really was someone, and a stunning beauty whose looks and figure were comparable to her master's. Little stars appeared in her bright eyes. A great beauty, she liked her. Ziran smiled calmly, "Long time no see. How are you and Yangxi?" Yun Bing was a little impatient. "We're fine. What do you want to say? Hurry up and say it." Xiao Ye listened to their conversation and felt that the two had some disharmonious past, and that Yun Bing was the one who suffered. Ziran cut to the chase, saying without beating around the bush, "I'm here to verify something. The Supreme Alliance needs to input your accurate template information. Is your template level mythical?" Yun Bing snorted, "So what if it is? Want to fight?" Ziran's pupils contracted. "It really was mythical. You're still the same as before, starting a fight at the drop of a hat. Back then, I cleaned up your messes countless times, smoothing over so many consequences." Ziran said with a look of reminiscence, her expression filled with shock. "The four of us sisters are all living peacefully now, each in our own territory, and haven't seen each other for a long time." This time, Yun Bing didn't retort, remaining silent. The pure and mature Ziran noticed Xiao Ye standing to the side with a gossipy expression, so she leaned closer and sized him up, frowning as she said, "Venerable Realm? Yun Bing, you're really hungry. You, who disdain men, are actually messing around with a little brother. We four sisters, four best friends, haven't even formed a contract after all these years, but you're something else." Xiao Ye was annoyed and said, "Hey, who are you? Don't think that just because you're pretty you can act like a big sister and lecture Sister Yun Bing. Besides, I'm big and strong, not small at all, don't call me little brother." Yun Bing retorted, "Hell, at least I have a man to quench my thirst. What about you? You're probably comforting yourself alone in the dead of night." Huangfu Xiangling's eyes widened. What kind of lewd talk were these people spouting? She quickly grabbed Ziran's fair arm and said, "What do you need a man for? My master has me, I won't let her be lonely." Ziran's usually calm face finally showed some emotional fluctuations. Her defenses crumbled, and she chuckled in exasperation, saying, "Yun Bing, long time no see. I won't argue with you." Yun Bing waved her hands impatiently, "Then go. You've asked everything, haven't you? I don't want to see you." Ziran's expression darkened. "All right then, give my regards to Yun Zai. Goodbye." Then, Ziran took Huangfu Xiangling's hand and left. Just then, a massive blue light gate appeared in midair, emanating extremely powerful auras. Whoosh! 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 Two teams dressed in combat suits emerged from the blue light gate. Each team had 6 members, totaling 12. The word order was written on the chest of their combat suits. Whoosh! Before the blue light gate closed, a one-eyed middle-aged man wearing a black eye patch stepped out, his deep, authoritative voice emanating from him. "Sir, you have seriously violated the Secret Realm Code of Conduct. According to the punishment regulations, you are restricted from entering the Secret Realm this year. Please leave with us." Yun Bing curled her lip and said, "Leave just like that? Who are you?" The one-eyed middle-aged man released the aura of a top-tier supreme, and the 2 teams of 12 people also released the auras of high-level and mid-level supremas. He took out a token engraved with the word order and said with a serious expression, "We are the Supreme Alliance's team for maintaining order. Please don't make things difficult for us. We are just following the rules. You have carried out a large-scale slaughter of magical beasts in the Secret Realm, violating the Secret Realm Code of Conduct. We must punish you." He pointed to the blue light gate and said, "Please, gentlemen. As long as you don't violate the code again, you can continue to enter the Secret Realm next year." Yun Bing's lips twitched, somewhat speechless. She glared at Xiao Ye and thought to herself, "Look at what you've done." Xiao Ye's face darkened. He had captured tens of thousands of magical beasts using the Bronze Palace. He was caught up in the excitement and hadn't remembered the Secret Realm Code of Conduct for a moment. Xiao Ye clasped his hands in a fist and said, "Brother, could you please make an exception? We still have things to finish. Give us a day, and we'll leave after that." With that, he took out a box of supreme-grade enlightenment tea from his system space and tossed it to the one-eyed middle-aged man. The one-eyed man didn't take it, but from the aroma emanating from the box, He recognized what it was. He swallowed hard, glancing at the two teams. The two supreme teams were also eyeing the Enlightenment Tea with burning desire. To maintain the dignity of the Order Chief, he reluctantly pushed the box of Enlightenment Tea back, saying, "Sorry, we are fair and impartial, we don't accept bribes." Xiao Ye's face darkened. They wouldn't even accept supreme-grade Enlightenment Tea. It seemed he wouldn't be able to extract the reincarnation-type attribute rule fragment crystal this time and would have to wait until next year. "I ordered them to kill the magical beasts," a melodious, mature female voice rang in everyone's ears. Two beautiful figures appeared beside them. Upon seeing Ziran, the chief of order clasped his hands and said, "Greetings, Alliance Leader." The two order teams also clasped their hands and said, "Greetings, Alliance Leader." Ziran smiled and nodded, saying, "These magical beasts caused some problems. I had Yunbing eliminate them. It doesn't violate the Secret Realm's rules and regulations. You may return." The chief of order smiled, his eyes revealing admiration, and said, "Yes, Alliance Leader, we will leave now." He looked at the Enlightenment Tea leaf in midair with some annoyance, wanting to slap himself. If only he had packed up the item and left earlier. This was Enlightenment Tea leaf. Now he hadn't collected the item, and the person hadn't been punished either. "Withdraw." He waved his hand, leading the two order teams through the massive blue light gate and leaving the secret realm. Huangfu Xiangling stared intently at the Enlightenment Tea leaf floating in midair. Xiao Ye quickly collected it. Yunbing said somewhat awkwardly, "Ziran, thank you." Ziran waved her hand, smiled charmingly, and said, "It's nothing, no need to thank me. It's been 1,000 years since we last met. Have we become so distant?" Chapter 330 Ziran, who doesn't have some weird attributes? Ziran's beautiful eyes were filled with reminiscence as she said nostalgically, "We used to be best friends, even sharing underwear. From the time we awakened to the great venerable realm, the four of us were inseparable, bathing and sleeping together. But you didn't even tell me about the contract, and you didn't invite me to the wedding banquet," Yunbing said disdainfully. "We even swore an oath to marry the same person and be best friends for life. Now that I'm married to Xiao Ye, would you marry him?" Ziran looked at Xiao Ye's excessively handsome young face, her words caught in her throat, and after a long pause, she said, "So what if we marry the same person? But this little brother is too young, not suitable for me." Being called a little brother again, Xiao Ye was displeased and said, "Hey, don't think that just because you're the alliance leader and Yunbing's former best friend, you can spread rumors and say I'm small. You haven't even seen me, so don't say I'm small. Or else I'll scare you to death when I bring you out. A man can't be told he's inadequate, nor can he be told he's small." Ziran shook her head, without replying. Yunbing said, "Ziran, we still have things to do. Do you want to stay with us?" Ziran glanced at Huangfu Xiangling and said, "Today is my day off. Let's explore the secret realm together. Whatever you need to do, I might be able to help. I've been in the Supreme Alliance for over 1,000 years, so I'm quite familiar with this place." Yunbing snorted, "Fine, come along if you want." Huangfu Xiangling came closer, hugged Yunbing's fair arm, and said with a grin, "My name is Huangfu Xiangling. I'm Master's only disciple. Sister Yunbing, you're so beautiful. Your figure is amazing, just like Master's." Facing Huangfu Xiangling, Yunbing's attitude softened. She stroked Huangfu Xiangling's silver white hair and smiled, "You're cute too, you white-haired lolly." "This is my husband, Xiao Ye," Yunbing said, pointing to Xiao Ye standing beside her. Huangfu Xiangling looked over, a look of disgust appearing on her pretty face. She said coldly, "Hello." Xiao Ye frowned. Was this white-haired girl crazy? What was with that look of disgust? He'd never seen her like that before. Yunbing frowned, somewhat displeased. Ziran flashed between the two, blocking Huangfu Xiangling's view, and said apologetically, "I'm sorry, Xiangling has experienced some bad things and is very averse to men." Yunbing and Xiao Ye suddenly understood. Ziran secretly transmitted her voice to Yunbing, saying, "Yunbing, there's something I need your help with. 1,000 years ago, I had no choice but to do what I did. I can't watch you and Yunzai knowingly fall into a trap. I can't watch my best friend go to her death." Hearing this long-buried matter brought up, Yunbing's face darkened with anger. She said, "No choice? You think no choice can excuse this? That was Yunzai and my only chance to find our parents, and you ruined it. You know, for Yun Zai and me, whose parents disappeared when we were young, whether it's a trap or suicide, even if it costs us everything, we have to find them and protect them. As she spoke, Yun Bing's voice became sorrowful, and tears welled in her beautiful eyes. Since Yun Bing wasn't transmitting privately, everyone heard what she said. Xiao Ye's face darkened. He hadn't expected Yun Bing's wife to have such a past. Ziran's face was filled with guilt. I'm sorry, she said silently. She added in her heart. Even if it happened again, I wouldn't let you go to your deaths. Xiao Ye patted Yun Bing's back gently and said, it's all in the past. Yun Bing turned around and hugged Xiao Ye, her body trembling, and said, yes, I've lost my parents, but I still have you and Yangxi. She hugged him for a while before calming down, wiping away tears from the corners of her eyes before letting go. HMPH, considering you helped me earlier, I'll reluctantly help you this once. Tell me, how do you want me to help? Yun Bing whispered. Ziran smiled. Yun Bing was still the same Yun Bing, sharp-tongued but kind-hearted, her best friend and confidant. Xiangling's problem isn't just a dislike of men, her orientation is also questionable, Ziran whispered. Yun Bing's eyes widened, looking at Huangfu Xiangling in disbelief. This person, is she gay? Ziran, somewhat troubled, continued privately via telepathy, she often tries to get intimate with me, saying she wants to spend her life with me. How can that be? A woman should be with a man. Yun Bing raised an eyebrow and telepathically replied, get intimate? Did you give it to her? Ziran blushed and telepathically replied, don't talk nonsense, I didn't give it to her. Besides, how can I give it to two women? Yun Bing thought to herself, that's right, she doesn't have a penis, so it's useless. Ziran's lips twitched, and she telepathically replied, you really are still the same Yun Bing, speaking without any restraint, saying all sorts of lewd things. Yun Bing's face darkened, and she impatiently telepathically replied, don't think you're any better. You secretly watch adult films by yourself, and you even narcissistically compare your figure to the actresses in those films, saying the actresses' figures aren't as good as yours. Ziran blushed, somewhat embarrassed, and quickly changed the subject, telepathically replying, ahem, everyone has a few strange traits, okay, back to the main topic. I want your help to change Xiangling's perception of men, to make her stop hating them, so her orientation can get back on track. Yun Bing was speechless and replied telepathically, I'm not omnipotent, how can I help? Ziran glanced at Xiao Ye, then telepathically told Yun Bing, I have an idea. Because of her family experiences, Xiangling has a very stereotypical impression of men, believing them to be cold, heartless, and that rules are everything. We just need to change this perception. Xiangling's surname is Huangfu, and she is the illegitimate daughter of Huangfu Tian, the city lord of the capital city lord's mansion. Huangfu Tian had a relationship with a beautiful maid by chance, who was Xiangling's mother. Xiangling's mother died in childbirth, and being a maid, not a legally married contractor, Xiangling's identity was not recognized by the Huangfu family. She was expelled from the family at a young age and grew up without paternal or maternal love. Therefore, she deeply hates her cold and heartless father, that is, men. Yun Bing nodded, looked at Huangfu Xiangling with sympathy, and telepathically said, what's your idea? I'll help you. Ziran transmitted her voice, have Xiangling meet with Xiao Ye, let her know that men aren't all cold and heartless. Changing her perception and stereotypes will do. Yun Bing nodded, okay. Xiao Ye noticed Yun Bing and Ziran exchanging glances and, curious, leaned closer and breathed into Yun Bing's delicate ear, whispering, what are you two doing? Catching up? Yun Bing felt a tickle in her ear, rolled her eyes, and said, yes. Xiao Ye asked curiously, are you very close to the alliance leader? There are 3 others you're this close to? Yun Bing glanced at the pure and mature Ziran, pursed her lips, and said, yes, I know every single hair on her body. Besides her, there's Yun Zai, and the Empress of Hangzhou. By the way, do me a favor later. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 331 The Ultimate Secret Realm, Reincarnation Type Attribute Monsters. Yun Bing used private telepathy to briefly describe Huang Fu Xiangling's tragic past, her stereotypical views, and her distorted sexual orientation to Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye frowned. Dislike of men, liking women? Yun Bing telepathically replied, try to change Huang Fu Xiangling's stereotypical impression of men as cold and heartless. Xiao Ye asked doubtfully, has she never been in contact with men since childhood? Not everyone is as cold and heartless as her father, right? Yun Bing pursed her lips and replied telepathically, perhaps she has always deliberately avoided contact with men. Xiao Ye nodded to indicate he understood, then frowned as he looked at Huang Fu Xiangling. She was dressed in yellow, looked lively and energetic, and on the surface seemed more normal than most people, yet she was gay. This is a bit difficult, Xiao Ye said, his face troubled. Yun Bing rolled her eyes and transmitted her voice, just do your best. Xiao Ye transmitted back, tonight, choose one of three, maid outfit, nurse uniform, or flight attendant uniform. I'll do it if you choose one. Yun Bing blushed. Another shameful outfit? I promise you, Xiao Ye transmitted, choose one. Yun Bing hesitated for a moment, then decided, flight attendant. Xiao Ye snapped his fingers and said, I'll do it. Then, he took out his treasure hunting pointer and pinpointed the exact location of the reincarnation type attribute magical beast 3 o'clock, 30,000 kilometers, spatial coordinates -007 F6. Xiao Ye looked up towards the 3 o'clock direction and saw the pure and mature alliance leader, Ziran, staring intently at him. Hello, little brother Xiao. Ziran smiled innocently and waved. Xiao Ye's face darkened. Little brother Xiao, that sounded like a little brother. Xiao Ye secretly decided that he would definitely show this pure and mature woman his power someday, and let her know that he wasn't so little after all. Hello, Aunt Z, he retorted. Being called Auntie made Ziran's pretty face freeze. This was the first time in so many years she'd been called Auntie. It sounded so old-fashioned. Our destination, spatial coordinates are -007 F6, Xiao Ye said to Yun Bing. Yun Bing nodded and said, Ziran, if you want my help, come along. Don't get lost. She took Xiao Ye's hand and activated her long-range, spatial teleportation, talent skill. With a flash of white light, the two disappeared from Ziran and Huang Fu Xiangling's sight. Spatial teleportation is a long-range teleportation based on spatial coordinates, while instantaneous teleportation is a short-distance spatial jump within the field of vision and divine sense. Using spatial teleportation doesn't necessarily require tearing open space to enter the other side. You can teleport from the front, although it consumes more energy and mental power. Ziran's rosy lips curled into a smile as she said, Little Bing, don't underestimate me. To become the leader of the Supreme Alliance, my cultivation level has long since reached the peak of quasi-saint. Among the four of us sisters, besides the Empress of Hangzhou base city, I'm the strongest. Let's go, Xiangling, let's go have some fun too. She grabbed Huang Fu Xiangling's hand, and a fluctuation of elemental power appeared, a black hole appearing in the sky, sucking the two of them in. Meanwhile, at the very edge of the secret realm, in a secluded corner devoid of sunlight and darkness, Yun Bing and Xiao Ye appeared. They looked around. The place was chaotic. The dark elemental power was thin, but a different kind of energy was abundant. Reincarnation type attribute energy. Xiao Ye clicked his tongue. I didn't expect the energy density to be so high. It's almost visible to the naked eye, and you could almost grasp it. Yun Bing was also amazed, looking left and right. Reincarnation type attribute magical beasts. I've lived for thousands of years and never seen one before. Today, I'm finally going to see one. The two entered the chaos. Chaotic particles obscured their vision and shielded their divine sense, but their spatial perception allowed them to vaguely sense their surroundings. This place was no different from the magical Beast Mountain range, with similar vegetation and terrain, except it was filled with chaotic free particles and reincarnation type attribute energy. In the tree holes of towering ancient trees, on thick branches, and among the bushes, there were smooth, spherical shapes, similar to slime jelly spheres. Eek. The jelly sphere-shaped reincarnation type attribute magical beasts jumped around and made cute, whiny noises when they saw Xiao Ye and Yun Bing. Puff puff puff. One after another, jelly-like magical beasts leaped into the air, their bodies sparking as they hurtled towards Xiao Ye and Yun Bing with immense power. Their cultivation levels varied, ranging from Grandmaster to Great Grandmaster, Venerable, and Great Venerable. Yunbing raised her hand and clenched her fist, activating her innate skill, spatial compression. Space is compressed together, and everything within it will be compressed accordingly. With a boom, the space within a 1-mile radius was compressed into a single point, reducing all vegetation and reincarnation-type magical beasts within it to tiny molecular fragments. Due to the spatial compression, the 1-mile radius around them became a void. Yunbing opened her hand, placing the compressed space before Xiao Ye, and asked, "More than 50 magical beasts, can we extract them?" Xiao Ye looked at the tiny black dot, compressed into a molecular structure, leaving not a trace, and his lips twitched. He activated the template adjuster's rule fragment crystal extraction function. The extract has been damaged and cannot be extracted. The monster's body must be roughly intact for extraction. Extract my ass. How can we extract anything if there's nothing left? The body needs to be roughly intact. Xiao Ye said speechlessly. Yunbing suddenly realized and casually threw the 1-mile radius space, compressed into a small black dot, into the void space. Boom. A deafening sound rang out, and the compressed space exploded like a bomb, shaking and distorting the void space. Yunbing hurriedly cast spatial barrier to seal off the power of the explosion, preventing it from affecting the reincarnation-type monster forest a mile away. Xiao Ye broke out in a cold sweat and said, "You'd better be careful, don't ruin this place." Yunbing nodded. With a hum, a white hole, the opposite of a black hole, appeared beside it, and with two poof sounds, two beautiful figures were ejected. It was the pure and mature Zuran, the leader of the Supreme Alliance, and Huangfu Xiangling, a white-haired girl with questionable sexual orientation. Huh? Where is this? A hint of surprise appeared on Zuran's pure and pretty face. This energy doesn't belong to any conventional attribute. Let me analyze it. With a hum, a huge black hole appeared in midair, emanating a tremendous suction force and absorbing several tons of energy. After a while, the black hole disappeared, and a wise light flashed in Zuran's beautiful eyes. Reincarnation-type attribute energy, reincarnation-type attribute magical beasts. She was quite surprised. I didn't expect that such rare and unusual magical beasts would exist in this ordinary secret realm. Yunbing, you're amazing. You even managed to find them in a place like this. Xiao Ye felt impressed. You've got some skills. You can analyze the attribute of a species you've never seen before just by absorbing its energy. Yunbing agreed. The analytical ability of the devouring template is indeed very useful. Looking at the magical beast forest shrouded in chaotic free particles, Yunbing had an idea. She looked up and said, "Zuran, how about your disciple and Xiao Ye have a contest to see who kills more reincarnation-type magical beasts? We'll imprison the reincarnation-type magical beasts at the Great Venerable level and above, leaving only those at the Venerable level and below." Zuran sensed it for a moment and agreed, saying, "Xiangling, if you beat Xiao Ye, I'll take a bath with you, how about that?" Chapter 332 Xiao Ye, even if I win, we'll take a bath together. Xiao Ye raised his head, smugly saying, "Aunt Xie, did you hear that? My wife Yunbing doesn't mind that you want me to compete with your disciple. You can't just give one person a reward, can you?" Aunt Xie's pure and pretty face froze for a moment. "No, you really want to take a bath with me?" She shook her head violently and said, "How about this, if you win, I'll let you and Xiangling take a bath naked together, how about that?" Xiao Ye looked at the beautiful white-haired girl Huangfu Xiangling, who exuded a lively aura, and nodded. "Okay." Huangfu Xiangling immediately became anxious, stomping her foot angrily. "Master, how can you do this? Making me take a bath with a man is worse than killing me." Zuran shrugged and used reverse psychology. "What, as my disciple, you're 10 years older than Xiao Di, and your cultivation level is much higher than his. Are you afraid of losing?" Huangfu Xiangling thought it made sense. "HMPH, that's right, I won't lose." Yunbing's lips twitched, and she was a little agitated. "Hey, don't you guys care about my feelings? Xiao Ye and Zuran can take a bath together, but your disciple can't." In Yunbing's mind, Xiao Ye, with his mythical level template, would definitely win, and if he won, he would be rewarded. Rewarded by letting him bathe with Huangfu Xiangling? That would be actively pushing Xiao Ye towards Huangfu Xiangling. Letting Xiao Ye attract attention. Zuran transmitted her voice, "Xiao Bing, what are you afraid of?" Xiangling has a problem with her orientation. Even if they bathe together, Xiangling can't possibly have any thoughts about Xiao Ye. You don't need to worry about Xiao Ye cheating on her. Besides, do you think your husband can beat my disciple? Yun Bing thought about it and agreed. How could someone with a problem with their orientation have thoughts about a man? But Ziran said that Xiao Ye couldn't possibly beat Huangfu Xiangling? Yun Bing said disdainfully, Xiao Ye, beat her up. Let Ziran know how powerful our Kunpeng Academy is. Kunpeng Academy's #1 prodigy versus Supreme Alliance's #1 prodigy. Boom. Xiao Ye and Huangfu Xiangling stared at each other. Xiao Ye's eyes were calm and clear, filled with fighting spirit, but Huangfu Xiangling's were filled with disgust, disdain, and provocation. This look left Xiao Ye speechless. He thought to himself, little brat, even you call me little brother Xiao. Wait, I'll beat you until you call me daddy. Before that, we must clear the arena. We can't let those Supreme Realm and Great Venerable Realm magical beasts ruin the game. Yun Bing maximized her perception, covering the reincarnation-type magical beast forest within a radius of 20 kilometers. 2 Supreme Realm 4th tier beasts and 40 Great Venerable Realm beasts. Within a minute, she had identified the powerful magical beasts. Ziran nodded. Knock them all out, then restrain them. With 2 flashes of light, Yun Bing, the charming and beautiful mature woman, and Ziran, the pure and beautiful mature woman, both disappeared. Bang! 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 The deep, resounding sounds of fists landing echoed. 2 minutes later, Yun Bing and Ziran returned to Xiao Ye and Huangfu Xiangling's side. Xiao Ye, it's your turn now. Yun Bing grabbed Xiao Ye and threw him away, hurling him more than 20 miles away. The wind was blowing on his face and it hurt. Xiao Ye scolded, Yun Bing, just wait, the stewardess will let me stand up and kick tonight. Ziran's pretty face was stunned. You guys are really having fun. Yun Bing curled her lips. You can understand these words, and you are not a good person. On the surface, you are a pure and holy leader of the Supreme Alliance, but secretly you are a dirty woman who likes watching action movies. Ziran's pure and pretty face turned red, feeling guilty, and said, my apprentice is still here, don't talk nonsense. Xiangling, go to the place where Brother Xiao landed. That is the core of the monster's lair, with the largest number of low-level monsters. Huangfu Xiangling said hurriedly, Aunt Yun Bing, you are not beating Brother Xiao, you are helping him cheat. She turned into a flying rainbow and rushed towards the place where Xiao Ye landed. Hu hu hu. The wind blew, and Xiao Ye formed a parabola in mid-air, and was thrown 20 miles away, before finally landing towards an extremely thick super-ancient tree. This ancient tree had a canopy diameter of 100 meters, and the diameter of its branches exceeded 10,000 meters. Thump. Xiao Ye performed a backflip, landing steadily on a thick tree trunk. E-I-E-I-A. E-E-E-E-E. E-I-E-I-A. E-E-E-E-E. His eyes widened. All around him, on the branches, stood countless jelly-like, slime-like reincarnation-type magical beasts. Crowded on the trunk and branches, they almost triggered his trypophobia. These reincarnation-type magical beasts charged towards Xiao Ye, carrying immense power and force, sparks flying in the air. Do these reincarnation-type magical beasts only use their bodies to charge? What special innate skills do reincarnation-type beasts have? A question arose in Xiao Ye's mind. As the question arose, he made his move. Future foresight predicts events that will occur in the next few seconds. The foresight appears in the mind as a dynamic visual, and the information is quite detailed. Spatial blade, a spatial blade formed from the power of space. It exists in space, invisible, colorless, silent, and undetectable by the naked eye or divine sense. He unleashed both time-based and space-based innate skills simultaneously. Instantly, a brief dynamic scene appeared in Xiao Ye's mind, showing jelly-like spherical monsters ramming into his head. The monsters would spew out black, hellfire-like high-temperature flames, and some would use freezing power to restrict his movements and slow him down. Xiao Ye instantly perceived the future foresight. He quickly devised a countermeasure. Consuming spatial energy, over 100 spatial blades appeared around him, appearing like ghosts without warning, slashing horizontally at the overwhelming monsters ramming towards him. At the same time, he used the instant teleportation, short-distance spatial jump, spatial innate skill, instantly teleporting to a tree trunk 100 meters to his right. Swoosh! Swoosh! On the spot, more than 100 invisible, colorless, and silent spatial blades, like 10,000 swords being fired simultaneously, sliced the more than 20 jelly-like, reincarnation-type magical beasts that were charging towards them into more than 10 pieces. Chapter 333 Space Lockdown. White-haired girl gets furious. 10 Grandmaster-level creatures, 15 Master-level creatures, and 2 Venerable-level creatures. Activate the Template Adjuster's Template Detection function. SS Rank Talent Literal Beast. Attribute. Reincarnation Type Attribute. Fire Attribute. S Rank Talent Literal Beast. Attribute. Reincarnation Type Attribute. Ice Attribute. SSS Rank Talent Literal Beast. Attribute. Reincarnation Type Attribute. Wood Attribute. Ice Attribute. Fire Attribute. Activate the Template Adjuster's Rule Fragment Extraction function. Extract only Reincarnation Type Attribute Rule Fragment Crystals. Xiao Ye commanded the Template Adjuster. The supreme, profound, and mysterious extraction power descended. Enveloping the fragmented, jelly-like reincarnation-type monsters, they immediately convulsed as if by nerve reflex, emitting a musty, decaying smell. Then, their bodies crumbled and decayed, finally turning into powder and dissipating into the air. Grandmaster-level magical beast, successfully extracted 15 reincarnation-type rule fragment crystals. Great Grandmaster-level magical beast, successfully extracted 20 reincarnation-type rule fragment crystals. Venerable-level magical beast, successfully extracted 6 reincarnation-type rule fragment crystals. Xiao Ye was overjoyed and chuckled. He had extracted 41 reincarnation-type rule fragments in the first wave. With another wave, he could extract a 50 reincarnation-type rule fragments needed to upgrade New King's time-type mythical template. Magical beasts, the young lady has arrived. Get out of the way. At this moment, a clear, sweet voice came from several hundred meters below. Xiao Ye looked up and saw Huangfu Xiangling, a white-haired girl in a yellow dress, appearing under a tree. Upon seeing the human intrusion, the reincarnation-type attribute magical beasts unleashed their powerful aura, spewing black flames and sharp ice spikes towards Huangfu Xiangling. Damn, this little monster is so fierce. Huangfu Xiangling's beautiful eyes flashed with a sharp light as she shouted, "Then don't blame me for being impolite." A flash of light appeared, and a 10-meter-wide black hole appeared before her. Maximum power, suck it in. The black hole, like a black abyss, unleashed a powerful, inescapable suction force, as if trying to pull everything in. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Everything near the black hole, including monsters, leaves, rocks, and grass, was pulled in by the suction. Puff puff puff. Jelly-like, reincarnation-type monsters hopped and jumped, trying to escape, but to no avail. One after another, monsters were sucked into the black hole. There were Grandmaster, Great Grandmaster, and Venerable Realm monsters. The area affected the entire super ancient tree, trying to pull in every single one of them. Xiao Ye clicked his tongue, going all out right away? And trying to suck me in. 5, 10, 12, 10 seconds later, 12 magical beasts were pulled in, their deaths unknown. Huangfu Xiangling proudly raised her chin, giving Xiao Ye, hundreds of meters above, a smug look. Then, with a wave of her hand, the black hole suction force on Xiao Ye increased significantly. Damn! Xiao Ye was speechless. She'd rather not pull me in than let the suction force affect me. This aura, it's the 8th level of the Venerable Realm, 1 level lower than me, but this girl is 10 years older than me. Spatial lockdown, locks down a space, isolating it and preventing it from connecting with the outside world. This was a talent skill he only learned after upgrading to a mythical level template. Spatial energy consumed, talent skill activated. Buzz buzz buzz. In front of Huangfu Xiangling, the space centered on the 10-meter side, black hole-like opening, a 15-meter diameter circular space trembled, visible to the naked eye like ripples in water. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Huangfu Xiangling's body trembled, her delicate face rippling like water, giving her a strange feeling she had never experienced before, and she unconsciously cried out. Ugh. This sound was too embarrassing. Huangfu Xiangling covered her mouth, trying to calm herself down by circulating her energy, but to no avail. Half a minute later, the space within a 15-meter radius of the black hole was sealed off. The suction and pulling force released by the hole was still there, but only within the sealed space. Outside the sealed space, calm returned. Those magical beasts that had been sucked in but had not yet entered the sealed space no longer felt the pulling force and hopped onto the super ancient tree, all moving away from the black hole. The special sealing was successful, the special tremor stopped, and Huangfu Xiangling saw the situation around her, her beautiful eyes widening in shock. What's going on? Why do I feel like I'm in prison, cut off from the outside world? She extended her mental energy, but it couldn't reach beyond the immediate surroundings, as if the distant places didn't exist. She could see the distant scenes with her naked eye, but her mental energy, her power, and her ability to devour the black hole couldn't extend outwards. Wait? Huangfu Xiangling looked up at Xiao Ye and saw his provocative and disdainful gaze. She also saw him raise an eyebrow, make a face, and mouth the words, "Clown. You, it was you." Huangfu Xiangling exploded, her beautiful eyes wide with anger. "I refuse to believe I can't break your innate skill." Whoosh! She controlled the black hole, sending it crashing into the surrounding space. Boom! A loud noise. The black hole trembled violently, shaking the entire sealed space. Huangfu Xiangling stumbled and fell, landing heavily on the ground, but the sealed space remained unbroken. Xiao Ye laughed. Huangfu Xiangling, an SSS-level devourer, was truly no match for him, a mythical level space type. Moreover, Huangfu Xiangling's cultivation level was slightly lower than his. I refuse to believe it. Huangfu Xiangling attacked the barrier sealing the space again and again, black hole collisions, mental probing, energy cannons, even striking with her delicate fists. She used every trick in the book, but none could break the special barrier and lift the special seal. Above, left, right, behind, even underground, she tried everything, but there were spatial barriers everywhere. Finally, she realized in despair that no matter what method she used, she couldn't break this cage. Xiao Ye, you're despicable, you're shameless. Don't let me out, or I'll beat you up. Huangfu Xiangling clenched her fists and shouted angrily. But because the space was sealed, her voice couldn't travel, and Xiao Ye couldn't hear what she was saying at all. Little girl, what are you saying? I can't hear you, speak louder. He slowly mouthed the words. Huangfu Xiangling was furious. In her eyes, Xiao Ye was toying with her, playing with her. Ah, how awful. How shameless. How despicable. She stomped her feet, her anger flaring. She felt no remorse or regret for striking first. If she hadn't attacked Xiao Ye first, trying to suck him into the black hole and restrict his movements, would Xiao Ye have used such a method to limit his range of motion? Xiao Ye shrugged and smiled faintly. I don't care what you say, I'm going to start killing the ferocious beasts. You'll be released after I'm done. Yes, I'll release you after I've killed all the magical beasts. I will definitely win this competition. You can just wait to take a bath with me. Chapter 334 Crushing Victory, Xiao Ye wins. But don't get me wrong, I'm just collecting upgrade resources. I have absolutely no desire to bathe with you, really, absolutely no. He put on a righteous air, but his gaze unconsciously drifted towards the white-haired girl's graceful and slender figure. You bastard, if you look at me again, I'll gouge your eyes out. Huangfu Xiangling had been staring intently at Xiao Ye, and when she saw that his gaze was fixed on her little mound, she immediately became furious. You dirk, unlock this cage now, or I'm not finished with you. She had realized that she couldn't break free of this cage. This meant that she, Huangfu Xiangling, would lose this competition and would have to bathe with Xiao Ye in a small bathtub. Xiao Ye curled his lip. Fine, I won't look then. If you're so capable, break the seal yourself. I'm going. He added in his mind, I'll look during the reward time while I'm bathing. It won't hurt me to take a couple of glances. Spatial blade, talent skill full power activation. Buzz, buzz. Xiao Ye directly consumed another third of his special energy, condensing thousands of invisible, colorless, and silent special blades around his body. These special blades swirled around him like a tornado. Tree trunks, leaves, and everything in their path were sliced cleanly by the sharp special blade tornado, leaving not a trace. Fortunately, he consciously controlled the tornado formed by the thousands of special blades, otherwise, any magical beasts it touched would have been cut to pieces as well. Whether they were grandmasters, great grandmasters, or venerables, each magical beast was cut into dozens of pieces. Xiao Ye quickly activated the rule fragment extraction function of the template adjuster and issued an instruction to extract only the crystallized fragments of reincarnation type rules. A supreme and profound power descended. Grandmaster level magical beast successfully extracted 5 reincarnation type rule fragment crystals. Great grandmaster level magical beast Successfully extracted 16 reincarnation-type rule fragment crystals. Venerable level magical beast. Successfully extracted 21 reincarnation-type rule fragment crystals. Iya. Wa. Iya. The jelly-like magical beasts on the super ancient tree, some distance from Xiao Ye, were terrified by the scene of carnage and fled in panic. They called out to the high-level magical beasts and beast kings of their clan, but received no response. So, one by one, they fled into the depths of the magical beast forest. Xiao Ye wouldn't just watch them escape. He activated his instant teleport talent skill, and his figure instantly teleported to the front of the reincarnation-type magical beast that had fled the farthest. Thump. The Grandmaster level magical beast was forced to collide with Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye kicked it away, and with the power of a 9th level venerable, the Grandmaster level magical beast died instantly. Grandmaster level magical beast, 2 reincarnation-related fragments successfully extracted, and so, Xiao Ye stood in the main road, killing one after another, transforming into war god of war, invincible and unmatched. The template adjuster's extraction function remained active, continuously extracting reincarnation-related rule fragments. His realm, 9th level venerable? Huangfu Xiangling's rosy lips gaped open in shock, her eyes wide. How is this possible? If I remember correctly, he's only 18 years old. Less than a year away from awakening his Beast Tamer talent deep within his genes. In just 1 year, he's grown from 0 to the 9th level of the Venerable Realm. As the #1 prodigy of the Supreme Alliance, with all sorts of rare treasures, it took me 10 years to advance to the 8th level of the Venerable Realm. She found it unbelievable, utterly incredible. How could such a monstrous talent exist in the world? But the facts were right before her eyes, witnessed with her own eyes, and she had to believe it. Xiao Ye was indeed that kind of peerless genius, appearing only once every 10,000 years. I am inferior to him, Huangfu Xiangling said with shame. In her vision, 1,000 meters away, Xiao Ye was like a war god, killing all demonic beasts in his path. Since the Great Venerable Realm and Supreme Realm reincarnation-type demonic beasts had all been stunned and imprisoned by Ziran and Yunbing, the remaining unimprisoned low-level demonic beasts were no match for Xiao Ye. Grandmaster-level magical beasts, 60 fragments of reincarnation-type rules successfully extracted. Great Grandmaster-level magical beasts, 180 fragments of reincarnation-type rules successfully extracted. Venerable-level magical beasts, 120 fragments of reincarnation-type rules successfully extracted. Half an hour later, Xiao Ye had slaughtered all the reincarnation-type magical beasts he had seen, leaving not a single one alive. He counted the fragments of reincarnation-type rules that had appeared in the system space and was extremely pleased to find that there were already 456. He. Xiao Ye laughed loudly with his hands behind his back. That's enough, no need to kill any more. As for those reincarnation-type magical beasts that were knocked unconscious and imprisoned at the Great Venerable and Supreme levels, of course they should be captured and kept in the Bronze Palace. Reincarnation-type attributes are such a rare and precious attribute category, it would be a pity to kill them all. Extraction completed, slaughter over. Xiao Ye walked towards the specially sealed cage. Little girl, call me daddy, and I'll let you out, okay? He slowly mouthed to Huangfu Xiangling in standard Mandarin. Looking at Xiao Ye a meter away, with his smug expression and lip movements, Huangfu Xiangling was furious. She pointed at him and said, Xiao Ye, don't be so shameless, or I'll have my master beat you up. Xiao Ye shrugged and said, won't call? I won't let you out if you don't call. At the edge of the demonic beast forest shrouded in chaotic free particles, Ziran and Yunbing saw everything. Yunbing patted Ziran's shoulder triumphantly and laughed loudly. Ziran, your disciple's no good. 10 years older than Xiao Ye, yet he lost the competition completely. How about it, my husband Xiao Ye, isn't he better than your disciple? Ziran was a little embarrassed. Her beautiful eyes widened, feeling a bit ashamed. Just now she kept saying that her younger brother Xiao couldn't win, but now, not only did he win, he won decisively. Her disciple lost, and it was her, his master, who lost face. HMPH. When we get back, I'll train Xiangling even harder. She'll definitely win the next competition. Ziran said stubbornly, her beautiful, clear eyes shining with confidence. Yunbing scoffed, laughing loudly, ha ha ha, next time? Is there even a next time? Look at our templates and talents, Xiao Ye and I are at a different level. Even if your disciple cultivates every single second of every day, his growth rate can't surpass ours. Alright, your mythical level. Ziran, her pure and innocent face slightly embarrassed, said helplessly, mythical level? It's never existed before. I never expected you to have it. Yunbing, I clearly remember your template was SSS level, but now it's mythical level. How did you do that? She asked curiously. It's unspeakable. Yunbing raised an eyebrow and said, what, you also want to possess a mythical template? Ziran withdrew her gaze, not pressing for the origin of the mythical template, but instead replied, of course, a mythical template is favored by heaven and earth, cherished by the laws of heaven and earth. Who wouldn't want to possess such a template? Of course I want to possess a mythical template too. Yunbing's lips curled slightly, a hint of amusement flashing in her beautiful eyes, and she said, if you want to possess one, you can. Ziran's beautiful eyes burned with desire. Can I? Yunbing nodded, teasingly saying, yes, you marry Xiao Ye, form a contract with him, end your virginity, and you'll have the opportunity to possess a mythical template. Chapter 335 Ziran's Imagination, Yunbing's Scheme. By forming a contract with a little brother, one can obtain a mythical level template. Ziran's beautiful eyes flashed with a sharp light as she analyzed many things from Yunbing's words. 1. Yunbing formed a contract with this young man, Xiao Ye, for the sake of a mythical level template. 2. Xiao Ye has a way to grant someone a mythical level template. 3. Mythical level templates are not unique in number, are not restricted by heaven and earth, and can be mass-produced for. Only after forming a contract with Xiao Ye and having sex with him will he help improve the template level. Ziran was knowledgeable and knew that some special beast tamers could form contracts with multiple beast girls. According to Yunbing, Xiao Ye was clearly one of these people. She also knew that when a beast tamer contracts with multiple beast girls, the potential is divided equally. Generally, after a beast tamer contracts with multiple beast girls, the potential of the beast tamer distributed across each beast girl's template will decrease sequentially. But this floor obviously does not apply to Xiao Ye, who is at the mythical level. For example, the potential of a mythical level beast is tens or even hundreds of times higher than that of an SSS level beast. Even if it is divided equally, it still crushes the SSS level beast. Xiao Bing, I never imagined you'd be willing to sacrifice your own happiness, your innocence, and your reputation for a mythical template. Ziran's expression was complex. Yunbing's lips twitched. What the hell? Ziran gave her a knowing look and interjected, no need to explain. As your best friend, I won't laugh at you. I respect your choice. Even if you break off your contract with Xiao Didi after a while, you'll still be my best friend, my best confidant. She knew it. How could a proud, fiery queen like Xiao Bing, who disdains men, be with a student? So it was all for the mythical template. Yunbing's pretty face darkened further, and she snapped, you're talking nonsense. He and I are truly in love. It wasn't about the template at all. Ziran said with some disappointment, Xiao Bing, it's just the two of us here. You won't even tell me the truth? We're best friends, we could even share a pair of panties. I won't wear your lace panties. Yunbing's forehead creased with anger, and she wanted to slap her. She said speechlessly, Ziran, you really have a vivid imagination. I didn't say anything, and you've already figured out the whole story of him and me. You're amazing. Fine, think what you want. After you've spent some time with Xiao Ye, you'll find that he's worth my love. Ziran didn't speak, looking at her intently, increasingly convinced that her prediction was correct. Before long, the proud little Bing would take the initiative to propose to Xiao Ye that she wanted to terminate the contract. Yunbing glanced at the magical beast forest and said, didn't you want your disciple to change her stereotypical view of men? I have an idea. Ziran's beautiful eyes lit up. Tell me. Release a great venerable magical beast to attack Huangfu Xiangling, so that Xiao Ye will risk his life to save her in a moment of crisis, Yunbing said. Ziran nodded. Good idea, but what if Xiao Ye gets injured? Yunbing said indifferently, break a few of his ribs, or break a leg, as long as it's not the middle leg that's broken. Hiss. Ziran gasped. You're ruthless. She became even more certain that Yunbing and Xiao Ye had no feelings for each other. Yunbing used a private telepathic communication method to inform Xiao Ye, who was tens of thousands of meters away, of her idea. Xiao Ye stumbled and almost fell, his face darkening as he transmitted his voice. Broken leg? No way. I won't even kick Yunbing's clothes anymore. Yunbing replied, just kidding, how could I bear to see you hurt? With me here, a mere great venerable realm beast can't harm you in the slightest, don't worry. Xiao Ye reluctantly agreed, transmitting his voice, okay, since you're so considerate of me, Yunbing, I won't stand up to kick, I'll kick sitting down. Yunbing blushed and spat, whatever, kick however you want. He. Xiao Ye laughed, transmitting his voice, alright, I'll give you a signal later, then you release the magical beast. Inside the specially sealed barrier, Huangfu Xiangling saw his wicked smile and her heart skipped a beat, sensing that nothing good would happen while she was taking a bath. What are you thinking? Let me tell you, even if we take a bath together, I'll still be wearing a swimsuit. Through the barrier, she hugged herself tightly, taking a few steps back in a flustered manner. Xiao Ye was speechless. You really think I want to take a bath with you? Fine, I'll let you out first. Huangfu Xiangling's pretty face lit up with joy. She severed her energy transmission, retracted her innate skill, and the black hole disappeared, restoring calm to the space barrier. Xiao Ye waved his hand, and the barrier that had formed the special seal instantly vanished, the special energy being recycled. He said, alright, you can come out now. HMPH. Shameless man, I'm going to call my master to beat you up. Huangfu Xiangling had a bad impression of Xiao Ye and stormed off without even saying thank you, heading straight for the edge of the monster forest. Xiao Ye gave Yunbing a wink. Now. The words fell instantly. Buzz! The earth trembled violently, countless spikes of earth suddenly erupting from the ground. Huangfu Xiangling, caught off guard, bumped into one of the spikes, stumbling and falling flat on her face. She managed to stop herself using her face brakes. Ugh! She wiped the mud off her face with her delicate hand, then used her other hand to push herself up, performing a backflip and landing on her feet. Looking around angrily, she cried out, I'm so angry. Xiao Ye toyed with me, and now even a mere magical beast dares to play tricks on me. In a flash, a 10-meter-sized black hole appeared behind her, emanating an immense pulling force. Come out, she stomped her foot. Plop. 100-meter-sized, jelly-like spherical magical beast emerged from beneath her feet, pressing against her rear and lifting her into the air. The immense suction force emanating from the black hole had no effect whatsoever on the giant demonic beast. It spewed out a jet of water, instantly freezing the black hole and halting its operation. Huangfu Xiangling was lifted into the air, the hurricane stinging her face as she experienced the sensation of Xiao Ye being flung away. The feeling was quite unpleasant. PFFT. The peak Grand Venerable Realm demonic beast extended a tentacle, grabbing Huangfu Xiangling's delicate body before she could even react, and thrusting it straight into its maw. Being a whole realm lower, she couldn't break free from the tentacle's hold. Seeing the increasingly close, disgusting, slimy maw, Huangfu Xiangling's beautiful pupils constricted sharply, her face filled with terror, her mind blank. Xiao Ye instantly teleported beside her, his spatial blade slicing down, only to find it would take several minutes to cut through. For the flight attendant uniform, I'll risk it all. Xiao Ye's face hardened, and just as the demonic beast's tentacle released its grip on the white-haired girl's mouth, he kicked her in the rear, sending her flying. But he himself was sent into the gaping maw of the monster by the tentacles that had reacted. Huangfu Xiangling, who was kicked away, was shocked. He actually died to save me. Chapter 336 The impression of the white-haired girl changes. Having been saved by a man she'd only known for less than half a day, Huangfu Xiangling felt incredibly conflicted. She found it unbelievable that Xiao Ye would sacrifice himself to save her. She couldn't believe it, especially since Xiao Ye had already been swallowed by a magical beast. This act of heroism and selflessness clashed sharply with her stereotypical image of men as cold and heartless. The alluring and mature Zuran, with her devilish figure, nodded at Huangfu Xiangling's stunned expression, saying, "Very good, the plan is very effective. But to make the performance complete, it's our turn to step in," the charming and mature Yunbing said with a smile. The two women, with their graceful movements, appeared beside Huangfu Xiangling, stabilizing her as she was thrown backward. Huangfu Xiangling was overjoyed, her pretty face flushed with urgency as she cried out, "Master, Aunt Yun, Xiao Ye has been swallowed by a demonic beast. Quick, go save him." Immediately, Yunbing's face contorted with rage. "Good heavens, He actually escaped our divine sense detection. Suddenly, the gigantic, jelly-like sphere, hundreds of meters tall, turned around, its rear end facing everyone. With a plop sound, a pile of stinky, soupy poop, 2 meters high, was expelled, splashing everywhere on the ground. Yunbing was astonished. This demonic beast's digestive ability is amazing. It expelled him so quickly. Huangfu Xiangling's face turned grim. Xiao Ye, he was expelled? Looking at the splattered poop below, sure enough, there were several pieces of clothing among them. Upon closer inspection, they were indeed Xiao Ye's clothes. Boom. Huangfu Xiangling's pupils constricted, her mind reeling as if struck by lightning, her entire body trembling violently in a daze. He really was digested into a pile of runny excrement. Her stereotypes about men were once again violently shattered. The tragic scene before her was like a raging tsunami, washing away her impression of men as cold and heartless, again and again. In its place was Xiao Ye's strong arms. This man, on the surface, was somewhat frivolous towards her, even making faces and provoking her, but deep down, he was an exceptionally good man who would sacrifice his life for her. In her 28 years of life, Xiao Ye was the first and only person to treat her, Huangfu Xiangling, like this. PFFT. The giant magical beast, 100 meters tall, with its back to the three of them, pulled out another large pile. This pile seemed to have exerted some force, shooting out like a cannonball, crashing to the ground in an arc, shattering into pieces. The runny excrement splashed up, spraying towards Huangfu Xiangling and the other two in midair. Yunbing and Ziran dodged in a flash, while the stunned Huangfu Xiangling was splashed all over. Huangfu Xiangling wiped the wetness off her body and felt a special ring. This is Xiao Ye's special ring. Her pretty face was stunned, her beautiful eyes bursting with boundless rage, and she hysterically cried out, "Master, please kill it, cut it into 1,000 pieces, skin it, tear out its tendons, crush its internal organs, cut off its head and immerse it in a cesspool. Let it die a horrible death. Avenge Xiao Ye." Ziran and Yunbing exchanged a glance and smiled at each other, somewhat surprised that the effect was so good. This scheme was too successful. Indeed, tricks win people's hearts. And can even win hearts more easily than sincerity. Buzz buzz buzz. Ziran and Yunbing, their faces filled with anger, pointed at the demonic beast and said, "Give me back my husband's life. Catch, monster, give me your life." The two of them burst out with extremely terrifying auras, and two large energy handprints of different attributes condensed in midair, crashing down on the demonic beast like Mountai. Boom. Boom. Two massive energy handprints slammed into the giant demonic beast, instantly reducing it to dust, leaving not a trace. Calm returned to the scene, leaving only two mangled blobs of excrement on the ground. Huangfu Xiangling unleashed her fastest flight speed ever, leaping into the blobs. Enduring the nausea, she used her hands to shove through the 2-meter-high, slick with foul-smelling excrement, trying to find Xiao Ye. After searching both blobs, her face was filled with sorrow, her eyes filled with despair, clutching 3 pieces of clothing in her hands, Xiao Ye's shirt, trousers, and underwear. He's really dead. He died saving me. Why? 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 Huangfu Xiangling slumped to the ground, her face contorted with grief and indignation, crying helplessly. PFFT. In the sky, Yunbing laughed. Hee. Ziran's beautiful eyes narrowed into crescent moons, her face blooming with a flower-like smile. Huangfu Xiangling witnessed Xiao Ye die saving her, even being digested and excreted as poop. She clutched his clothes and belongings, the special ring still tucked into her bosom. The stereotypical image of men as cold and ruthless melted away like ice. "Xiao Ye, even if you're dead, I'll keep my bed and take a bath with you," she said, her gaze resolute as she clutched Xiao Ye's clothes. Just then, with a poof, a figure emerged from the ground not far in front of Huangfu Xiangling, like a bamboo shoot breaking through the soil. "Hey, little girl, I'm not dead. Since you want to soak in the hot spring together, let's go," Xiao Ye said, completely naked, bent over with his white, bulging penis exposed, his hands covering his genitals, a warm, manly smile on his face. Huangfu Xiangling was startled and looked up towards the source of the sound, her beautiful eyes filled with shock. "Xiao Ye, you're still alive?" She somersaulted to Xiao Ye's side, reaching out to pinch his cheeks, arms, shoulders, and, seeing that she was about to touch his private parts, Xiao Ye slapped her away, his face darkening. What are you doing? Men and women shouldn't touch each other. You can't touch my private parts. Besides, you smell terrible. What's all over your skirt and hands? It stinks. Huangfu Xiangling's pretty face flushed red, her heart filled with joy. Her previous grief and anger vanished, and she exclaimed in delight, "That's great. You're not dead, Master. Aunt Yun, Xiao Ye is still alive." Yun Bing and Ziran appeared in front of Xiao Ye. Ziran subconsciously looked in a certain direction, and when she saw it clearly, her beautiful eyes widened in shock, her mouth forming an O shape, big enough to fit a goose egg. Yun Bing's face darkened, and she kicked Xiao Ye, saying, "Aren't you going to cover yourself up? Do you have an exhibitionist fetish? Ziran, stop looking at me like that. You've watched so many adult films, it's not like you haven't seen them before." Ziran's pure and pretty face flushed, and she glanced at Xiao Ye's private parts a few more times, saying, "No, don't talk nonsense. I never watched that kind of stuff." After saying that, she said to Xiao Ye, "You're great." She didn't even call him little brother anymore, but directly called him Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye felt restless and hurriedly found a big tree, hid behind it, and found a set of clothes from his system space to put on. Ugh, it stinks so bad. At this moment, Huangfu Xiangling's attention returned to herself. Looking at her dress covered in soup and runny feces, and the stench that was like stinky tofu, she almost vomited. With a wave of her hand, Ziran unleashed a powerful force that cleansed Huangfu Xiangling thoroughly, leaving her completely refreshed within seconds. "Thank you, Master," Huangfu Xiangling said happily. At this moment, Xiao Ye, now dressed in new clothes, walked up from behind the three and said, "Sigh, I saved someone's life, almost killing them, and they didn't even say thank you. It's heartbreaking." Chapter 337 The change in the attitude of the pure and alluring mature woman, Ziran. All eyes were on Huangfu Xiangling, especially Ziran, who was closely watching her disciple's sensory changes. Huangfu Xiangling said gratefully, "Xiao Ye, thank you for saving me. I owe you a favor. If you need anything, you can come to me, and I'll help you." Her eyes were completely devoid of the previous disgust and resistance, only gratitude remained. Xiao Ye waved his hand and laughed, "What favor? Competition is secondary, friendship is primary. We're practically friends of the opposite sex, aren't we?" "Friends of the opposite sex?" Huangfu Xiangling looked a little dazed upon hearing this unfamiliar term, and after a few seconds, she readily replied, "Yes, we're friends, comrades in arms." She jumped to Xiao Ye's side, leaned close to him, and put her arm around his shoulder, giggling, "Didn't you need something done? I'll help you. After we're done, let's go to the hot springs together." Looking at Huangfu Xiangling, who was holding his shoulder like a brother, Xiao Ye felt no resistance whatsoever, indicating that his hero saves the damsel in distress tactic was indeed very effective. Ziran's beautiful eyes lit up with joy. "Great! Changing Xiangling's stereotype is the first step. Changing her orientation will be much easier. I refuse to believe that Xiangling and Xiao Ye won't have something happen in the small space under pink lighting." "Xiao Bing, what are you doing? If you're done, you should leave," Ziran asked. Yun Bing winked at Xiao Ye, asking if the extraction of the rule fragments was complete. Xiao Ye replied, "The resources are collected, but there's still one more thing to do, capture those great venerable and supreme realm reincarnation-type magical beasts." "Capture magical beasts?" Yun Bing snapped her fingers. "That's easy. I'll bring them out, you just need to capture them." With a whoosh, vast special energy emanated from her body. She raised her hands and grabbed forward. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Several sounds rang out, and reincarnation-type magical beasts appeared in midair. They were all stunned and imprisoned. Xiao Ye counted 22 great venerable realm beasts and 3 supreme realm beasts. Buzz! A bronze palace at the quasi-emperor perfection level appeared in his hand, radiating an ancient and mysterious aura. The Supreme Alliance leader, Ziran, raised her hand and said, "Wait? Such a rare species of reincarnation-type magical beasts, you want to capture them all? And you're even violating the secret realm code in front of me, the Alliance leader, arbitrarily capturing high-level magical beasts." Xiao Ye paused. Yun Bing's face darkened, and a crisp smack rang out as she slapped the pure and mature Ziran's pert bottom hard. She said irritably, "Ziran, you're getting cocky now, aren't you? You're even holding back this little thing. Xiao Ye, ignore her, just grab it. Ugh. Ziran's beautiful eyes widened, her face flushing red. Fine, grab it. Why hit my bottom? I'm not refusing to give it to you. HMPH, only you dare hit my bottom like that. Yunbing rolled her eyes, speechless. I think you're just used to being the alliance leader, you need a good beating. Huangfu Xiangling, unusually, advised, alright, master, Xiao Ye is just catching a few magical beasts from the secret realm. This is a public secret realm of the Supreme Alliance. Let him catch the beasts, it's not your private property. It won't cause you any loss. Ziran was surprised. Xiangling, you're actually speaking up for Xiao Ye? You really don't hate men anymore? Huangfu Xiangling shook her head and said, I don't know. Perhaps I just don't dislike Xiao Ye anymore. Ziran's beautiful eyes shone with joy as she smiled. It's alright, this is already very good. Xiao Ye forcefully tossed the bronze palace into the air, its size suddenly increasing dramatically, emanating an ancient and unchanging aura. He activated the creature capture function. Buzz buzz buzz. The bronze palace projected two beams of light, one green and one red. The light shone on the reincarnation type attribute magical beast suspended in midair, causing the restrictive chains on its body to become visible, then shatter inch by inch. The magical beast then vanished in a flash, collected into the tower. Ziran stared at the bronze palace with her almond-shaped eyes, shocked. This seems to be the foundation of the Qin family in Jinling City, the emperor-level spiritual artifact, the bronze palace. Xiao Ye, you actually managed to get your hands on this. You're quite something. After capturing the magical beast, the bronze palace returned to calm. Xiao Ye raised his hand and put it away, smiling, just look. Sister Ziran, aren't you going to call me Brother Xiao anymore? You're calling me Xiao Ye now? Ziran's pretty face suddenly flushed red. A picture of a giant object flashed through her mind. She said, that's right. As Xiao Bing's husband, you're of the same generation as me. I should call you Xiao Ye. She thought to herself, Brother Xiao, little brother? Wrong, big brother. Unconsciously, Ziran's perception of Xiao Ye had also changed. He not only possessed a mythical level template, but he could also give others mythical level templates. He also had an emperor level spiritual artifact like the bronze palace. His foundation was comparable to hers. Xiao Ye nodded, that's good, I'm not young anyway. Ziran stretched and laughed, let's go back and soak in the hot springs together, Xiao Bing, come along. Yunbing nodded. Through the blue circular halo passage, the three were teleported out of the ancient secret realm of the dark attribute. The four arrived at the bustling streets of the capital and headed towards the private hot spring resort. Along the way, Huangfu Xiangling skipped and hopped ahead, leading the way, while Ziran, Yunbing, and Xiao Ye followed behind, chatting and laughing. The man was extraordinary and dignified, like a handsome young master. The women were beautiful as flowers, fair and delicate. The three stunningly beautiful women strolling around the man attracted a lot of attention from passers-by. Suddenly, someone exclaimed in shock, holy crap, that beauty in purple looks just like Ziran, the #1 beauty in our capital city. What? Alliance leader Ziran? Wow, it really is. Wow, she's so beautiful. That skin, so smooth and supple, it's like you could squeeze water out of it if you touched it. I wonder which man will end up with her. Ziran, it really is Ziran, my dream goddess, the pure goddess, so pure. Once she takes off her clothes, she's the goddess of pure desire. Pure desire is more alluring than anyone else. SHH, do you want to die? You're talking so loudly, if the goddess hears you, you're dead. On Ziran's side, Yunbing teased with her beautiful eyes, Ziran, did you hear that? The goddess of pure desire, more horny than anyone else. Ziran's pretty face flushed with anger, Xiao Bing, I've never even touched a man, and you're calling me horny? Yunbing pouted, you may not have touched a man, but you watch adult films all the time and compare your figure with a female lead. You're both narcissistic and horny. Huangfu Xiangling pricked up her ears to eavesdrop, then gasped in shock. Her master was actually peeping at adult films? That's something only a lewd woman would do. How could her high and mighty, pure and innocent master do such a thing? Xiao Ye was equally astonished. Xiao Bing, stop talking. Ziran, her face flushed, rushed over and covered Yunbing's mouth, afraid she would blurt out something else in public. Playfully teasing each other, The four arrived at the grand entrance of the private hot spring resort. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 338, Soak in the Hot Spring. Outside the grand and imposing gate stood 2 rows of receptionists. Upon seeing guests arrive, the 2 beautiful receptionists at the front immediately approached, warmly greeting, 4 esteemed guests, do you have reservations? Huangfu Xiangling tossed a token over, saying, no reservations. Arrange 2 private outdoor hot springs for us. The receptionist caught the token and, upon seeing it was the Supreme Alliance leader's token, was startled. She respectfully returned the token to Huangfu Xiangling, her gaze shifting to Ziran, who then bowed, saying, greetings, Alliance leader. Please follow me. Lead the way, Ziran said. The receptionist led the 4 through the grand gate, and with a flash of white light, the 4 were teleported into a small world. In the capital city, land was incredibly valuable. This massive entertainment complex of a private hot spring resort wasn't actually located in the capital, nor in the Blue Star main space, but in a dimensional small world. Xiao Ye looked around. The sky was a deep blue, the clouds white, the colors far more beautiful than outside, the air fresh, and the environment exquisite. Greetings, Lord Alliance Leader. Greetings, esteemed guests. I am the general manager of this private hot spring resort. This is the menu of hot spring types. Please let me know if you have any needs, and the resort will accommodate them. Entering the spacious and magnificent reception room, the chubby general manager bowed and introduced the resort with great enthusiasm. His heart was already churning with excitement. Holy crap, my goodness. So pure, so innocent, so tender. Seeing her in person, she's even more beautiful than in the news. If I could kiss a woman like this, I'd gladly give up 10 years of my life. Seeing the man approach, Huangfu Xiangling frowned, somewhat resisting, and moved away, hiding behind Ziran. Ziran's face showed a question mark. Didn't Xiangling no longer dislike men? Ziran pushed Huangfu Xiangling next to Xiao Ye, but Huangfu Xiangling didn't resist at all, casually and calmly sitting next to Xiao Ye on the sofa. Ziran's lips twitched. She understood, Xiangling didn't dislike men, but rather Xiao Ye. Ziran glanced at the menu and handed it to Yunbing, saying, Xiao Bing, this is my first time here. I used to bathe in my own secret realm. Which hot spring do you think is better? Yunbing's lips twitched. This was also her first time here. Before, because of her template issues, she had a fiery temper and was either beating people, fighting monsters, or cultivating. She knew nothing about entertainment resorts. She tossed the menu to Xiao Ye, her beautiful eyes widening, and said, Xiao Ye, you should know this place well. It's yours. Xiao Ye glanced at the imperial-style private hot spring. The price was a large venerable level high-grade crystal core. Huangfu Xiangling blinked her beautiful eyes and said, why don't we all use one hot spring and soak together? Anyway, we'll be wearing underwear in the hot spring, not completely naked. It's fine to soak with Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye looked at Ziran, seeking her opinion. Sister Ziran, what do you think? Ziran glanced at Yunbing, who looked indifferent. A picture of a certain enormous object flashed through her mind, and her pretty face flushed. She felt a sudden urge to look at it a few more times. If Xiaobing has no objections, what objections can I have? You can arrange it. Her pure and pretty face was slightly rosy. Xiao Ye smiled and said, then it's settled. Fatty manager, arrange an imperial hot spring package for us. Let us experience what it's like to be an emperor. The chubby general manager took the menu, very envious of Xiao Ye, who could actually soak in a hot spring with 3 stunning beauties. Alright, sir, I'll arrange it right away. He left the reception room and returned a few minutes later, smiling, please follow me, everyone. I'll take you to the Emperor's Hot Spring. Sir, you have excellent taste. The Emperor's Hot Spring is our resort's newest open-air private hot spring. The spring water is composed of natural pure energy liquid and supreme magical plant spirit liquid, which has the effect of relaxing the body and restoring mental energy. There are also 10 high-quality maids waiting to provide any service, free of charge. These maids are proficient in massage, proficient in the art of positions, and have extremely flexible bodies, capable of performing any difficult movements, the chubby general manager enthusiastically introduced. Xiao Ye sensed something was amiss and quickly waved his hand, saying, "Stop, no need for introductions, just take us there." The general manager wisely shut up. 10 seconds after leaving the reception room, he led the four to Blue Portal. He pressed a few buttons on the control panel, adjusted the teleportation destination, and smiled. "This is a teleportation array. Entering it will take you to the Emperor's Sweet Hot Spring. If you have any questions, the 10 maids inside will answer them and arrange everything." Xiao Ye nodded and led Ziran, Yunbing, and Huangfu Xiangling inside. Watching the three slender figures disappear, the general manager swallowed hard and exclaimed, "That kid is really lucky. He got to see Ziran, the most beautiful woman in the capital, wearing underwear. The woman next to the alliance leader is also a peerless beauty, no less stunning than her. Just looking at her aura makes my heart pound. She must be a powerful supreme being." Shaking his head, he turned and walked away. On the other side, Xiao Ye and his companions passed through the teleportation portal and appeared in an open-air manor bathed in bright, warm sunlight. In the courtyard, a crystal-clear hot spring, connected to the Earth's core, bubbled and hissed. "Greetings, Emperor. Greetings, Your Majesties." 10 young, beautiful maids greeted the four with smiles. Xiao Ye responded with a smile. "Good, very good." Yunbing's face darkened, and she waved her hand, saying, "You may leave. We don't need any servants." The 10 beautiful maids bowed and said, "Yes, Your Majesty." They lined up and walked briskly towards the teleportation portal, exiting through it, leaving only Xiao Ye and his companions. Ziran stretched and went inside the manor to undress. A sly glint flashed in Yunbing's beautiful eyes as she followed. Xiao Ye shrugged, tossed his clothes onto the clothes rack, leaving only a pair of shorts that revealed his 8-pack abs, powerful arms, and muscular physique. With a splash, he jumped into the hot spring, creating a few sprays. Glug glug. Xiao Ye dipped his head into the water, took a few sips, and chuckled. "It's surprisingly sweet, containing rich energy. It seems it really is, as the manager said, a natural, pure energy liquid. This hot spring is very deep, bottomless." Huangfu Xiangling, however, stared blankly at Xiao Ye drinking water half a meter away. She sat on the edge of the hot spring, her delicate white feet dangling and playing in the water. Wasn't this equivalent to Xiao Ye drinking her foot bath water? Just as the white-haired girl Huangfu Xiangling was lost in thought, Xiao Ye submerged himself in the water, swam towards the shore, then surfaced, grabbed her feet with both hands, and pulled sharply. Splash! Ah! Huangfu Xiangling screamed as she was pulled into the hot spring. Chapter 339 Ziran, don't even mention looking, you can touch it. Glug glug glug. Bubbles rose to the surface. Caught off guard, the white-haired girl swallowed more than 10 mouthfuls of hot spring water, frantically splashing her hands on the surface. Even though she couldn't swim, at the 8th level of the Venerable Realm, she adapted to the underwater environment within seconds, no longer panicking, holding her breath and relying on internal respiration instead of external oxygen. Huangfu Xiangling's eyebrows furrowed, and she transmitted her voice, "Xiao Ye, really? I was waiting for Master to bathe together. Why did you drag me into the water? Wait. What are you doing?" She stared wide-eyed, incredulous. Xiao Ye had his back to her and was even pulling up his pants, as if he were relieving himself in the hot spring. Huangfu Xiangling was shocked and immediately jumped out of the hot spring and back onto the shore, saying, "You actually peed in the hot spring. How are we supposed to bathe later? It's disgusting." Xiao Ye's face showed a question mark. He turned around and said, "Who peed? I didn't pee. My underwear was loose, I just pulled it up." Huangfu Xiangling breathed a sigh of relief, a sly glint in her beautiful eyes. "I don't believe you unless you drink some." Xiao Ye's eyes widened. "No way. You came down to bathe, and you want me to drink your bath water? No way. I'd rather die than drink it." Huangfu Xiangling's pretty face shrugged. "Fine, you didn't want to drink it, but you made me go into the water and forced me to drink several mouthfuls. So, according to you, I drank your bath water." She stood up, turned her back, and in front of Xiao Ye, pulled off her yellow dress, instantly exposing her fair, delicate body to the air, leaving only 2 pieces of clothing, a pair of cartoon-patterned breasts and panties. "Wow!" Xiao Ye gasped, surprised that Huangfu Xiangling was so well endowed, much better than Mu Qingsu. Huangfu Xiangling blinked, bent her legs, and leaped forward with a splash, landing in front of Xiao Ye, sending a spray of water 10 meters high, splashing his face. He serves you right for dragging me into this. Huangfu Xiangling's beautiful eyes narrowed into crescents as she smiled, her delicate face full of joy. Xiao Ye wiped the hot spring water from his face, speechless as he watched Huangfu Xiangling's doggy paddle swimming. She was fair-skinned, delicate, and beautiful, but her swimming style was utterly unappealing, worse than a dog paddle. Suddenly, he received a private message from Ziran. Xiao Ye, try to get Huangfu Xiangling to touch your 8-pack abs. See if you can use the most primal temptation to change her orientation. Let her take advantage of me? No way, Xiao Ye replied. I'm not that kind of person. Ziran hesitated for a moment, then replied telepathically, fine, if you don't want to, that's fine. Xiao Ye replied, wait. It's not like we can't negotiate. Let me see your legs, and I'll do it. Ziran replied telepathically, as long as you're willing to do it, seeing my legs is nothing. You can even touch them. Xiao Ye readily agreed, replying, no problem. Wait a minute, how do you know I have 8-pack abs? Were you peeking at me, Sister Ziran? Ziran didn't reply. Back in the ancient secret realm reincarnation attribute monster forest, she had seen the giant beast, so of course she had seen the 8-pack abs too. Xiao Ye dove into the water with a splash, swimming past Huangfu Xiangling to reach the shore. He found a bottle of sunscreen in a cabinet and decided to use it. Hey, white-haired girl, I can't open the cap, come help me, he called out. Huangfu Xiangling, the white-haired girl who was doggy paddle swimming, had several question marks above her head. After a couple of paddles, she surfaced and said, you're a grown man, and you can't even open a bottle cap? Xiao Ye laughed, I misspoke. I want to apply some sunscreen. There are so many varieties here, I'm not familiar with them. You're a girl, you should be more familiar with them. Come help me choose a good one and apply it. The white-haired girl rolled her eyes. Okay, wait a minute. Then, under Xiao Ye's gaze, a white figure slowly doggy paddled towards him. This girl's got a nice figure, all curves, he thought to himself in surprise. 2 minutes later, the white-haired girl finally crawled 10 meters to the shore, panting slightly. Swimming purely with my bare body without energy assistance is just too tiring. Then she raised her head proudly and said, Xiao Ye, you were actually watching intently just now. How was my swimming style? That doggy style swimming? Xiao Ye's lips twitched. Beautiful, so beautiful. You're definitely the swimming master. That's right. The white-haired girl walked to the cabinet, bent down, and searched for a while with her leather drum. She said speechlessly, although they're all brand names, these are all basic items, not as good as mine. She took out a brand new bottle of sunscreen from her special storage ring, waved her little hand, and giggled, since you saved me, I'll let you use my treasure. Xiao Ye lay down on the recliner, put on a pair of round-framed sunglasses, patted his muscular 8-pack abs, and said, thanks a lot, just help me apply it to my stomach. Huangfu Xiangling rolled her eyes. You're really enjoying yourself, treating me like a maid. She poured some sunscreen into her slender white hands and gently applied it to her well-defined abs, feeling the strong contours, and slowly smeared it on. Under the sunglasses, Xiao Ye observed her expression. He was shocked. Huangfu Xiangling's expression remained normal, without a trace of blush. Her pure eyes showed no unusual expression, she was completely unfazed, as if she'd applied sunscreen to an inanimate object, feeling nothing at all. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. This white-haired girl really wasn't interested in men at all. If other women were touching a masculine 8-pack, they'd probably be blushing, their eyes practically popping out of their heads. But this white-haired girl seemed completely unfazed. Hey, Xiao Ye, your sunglasses have a Pikachu pattern, she suddenly exclaimed in surprise. I like a Pikachu too, hee. Xiao Ye. He was speechless. She wasn't looking at 8-pack abs, but at sunglasses? Sure enough, this white-haired girl really did prefer women. Even if she no longer disliked men, she still couldn't muster any interest in them. Xiao Ye took off his sunglasses and handed them to her. Huangfu Xiangling took them, happily put them on, looked at herself from left to right, and laughed. Xiao Ye, you've gotten darker. Xiao Ye's lips twitched, and he took the sunglasses back and put them on himself, saying, Sister Ziran and Sister Yunbing, why haven't you changed your clothes yet? Just as he finished speaking, the manor door slammed open. Two mature women with different temperaments swayed their sexy, slender waists and walked out gracefully on their fair, long legs. One was a pure and innocent mature woman, and the other was a charming and alluring mature woman. Both had very hot figures and were only wearing 2 pieces of underwear. Under the sunglasses, Xiao Ye's gaze subconsciously fell on Ziren, and he suddenly gasped. Hiss. Lace? Chapter 340 Ziren, help me apply sunscreen. The lace panties clung tightly to her flesh, making her appear more voluptuous than plump. Her skin was fair and delicate, her breasts round and firm, and her incredibly long legs gleamed white. Combined with her exquisitely beautiful face, which was both innocent and alluring, she was incredibly seductive, even more so than pure desire. Of course, Yunbing wasn't bad either, just with a different aura. Wow, Master is here. Huangfu Xiangling's eyes lit up, and she rushed over, opening her arms to touch him, but Ziren dodged her. Huangfu Xiangling tried to pounce again, but Ziren placed a hand on her head to stop her from getting closer, saying helplessly, Xiangling, you lost your match with Xiao Ye, so I shouldn't be taking a bath with you, but I did. Huangfu Xiangling said somewhat disappointedly, if you won't let me hug you, I won't hug you. Yunbing walked up to Xiao Ye, took off his sunglasses, and noticed that he was staring intently at Ziren's graceful figure. She was furious, her long legs blocking Xiao Ye's path, and said irritably, haven't you ever seen a beautiful woman before? You're so lecherous. If you want to look at me. I'll show you. Xiao Ye shrank back, averting his gaze, and chuckled awkwardly, I was just appreciating beauty, appreciating art. I didn't have any ulterior motives. Ziren swayed her sexy hips as she walked over, saying narcissistically, Art, Xiaobing, did you hear that? I have a great figure, even men think so. Those actresses in adult films are far inferior to me. And besides, you kept saying you wanted me to marry him too, but you got jealous after he glanced at me a few times? Yunbing's pretty face flushed, her gaze shifting slightly. Who's jealous? I'm not jealous, Xiao Ye, look if you want. Xiao Ye waved his hand, what's there to look at? I'm not looking. Ziren pointed at the white-haired girl and transmitted her voice, how did things go? Xiao Ye shook his head and transmitted his voice, it's useless. I even let her touch my 8-pack abs, and she didn't feel anything. Huangfu Xiangling really doesn't like men, and she won't like men. Ziren frowned, unwilling to give up so easily, and transmitted her voice, why don't you try again? I even showed you my legs. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. Huangfu Xiangling has a problem with her orientation. She should see a professional doctor. It's no use coming to me. What can I do? For example, if I'm a man, and you expect me to like men, that's bullshit. Ziren leaned against the edge of Xiao Ye's chair, her little face scrunched up. Xiao Ye was right. Getting Xiangling to like men was like getting Xiao Ye to like men, harder than climbing to heaven. Hey, move your butt away from me. What if you fart? Xiao Ye saw Ziren leaning against a chair next to his head, only 2 centimeters away, almost touching it, and quickly moved away. Ziren's forehead creased with a few black lines. She lay down on the left-hand recliner and said speechlessly, you should be secretly happy. You're the first person in the world to see me in my underwear, and so close at that. The number of people who want to eat my butt could stretch from Beijing to Shanghai. Xiao Ye's face darkened. It's not me. Xiao Ye, why don't you try again? Ziren sighed and suddenly whispered, can I let you touch my legs? As the number 1 among the younger generation, Xiangling doesn't dislike you. If even you can't attract Xiangling. I don't know which man in the world can arouse your interest. Since you're begging me like this, I'll reluctantly help you out again. Xiao Ye readily agreed and whispered, when can I touch them? Yunbing is here, it's not appropriate now. How about you give them to me tonight? Now is fine, I have a way. A look of joy appeared on Ziren's pretty face as she said, Xiaobing, come and help me apply sunscreen. If touching her leg could change Huangfu Xiangling's orientation, she felt it was well worth it. Besides, touching her leg wouldn't hurt her. Yunbing lay down on the recliner to Xiao Ye's right, put on sunglasses, revealing her noble and charming mature face, and said disdainfully, if you want to apply it yourself. What level are you at? Still applying sunscreen? Be careful of side effects. Ziren didn't care, and continued with a smirk, it's just experiencing life. It's not like I apply it every day. Come on, help me apply it like before. Yunbing said decisively, I'm not going. He. Huangfu Xiangling, who was playing in the hot spring pool, brightened up and hurriedly ran over, rubbing her hands and giggling, Master, let me help you apply it. I'm best at applying sunscreen. Her eyes shone, and she was extremely excited. She took out her sunscreen and wanted to start applying it. Thump. Ziran lifted her long leg and placed a foot on the white-haired girl's chest, preventing her from getting closer. She refused, saying, Go play somewhere else. Huangfu Xiangling pouted, looking very disappointed. She complained, Master, we're both girls, why won't you let me hug you even once these past few years, or even shake your hand? Ziran rolled her eyes. Don't think I don't know you're fetish. You're already deeply addicted, and I can't just watch you continue to be poisoned. Be good, go soak in the hot spring, or I'll put you in solitary confinement for a month. Solitary confinement? I don't want to. Huangfu Xiangling hurriedly waved her hand, backed away step by step, and jumped into the hot spring with a splash, starting to play in the water like a dog. As her master, Ziran was both kind and strict, and she still held a lot of authority in the white-haired girl's heart. The white-haired girl usually listened to what she said. Seeing Huangfu Xiangling leave, Ziran breathed a sigh of relief and said, Xiao Ye, since Xiao Bing won't help me apply sunscreen, please do it for me. Xiao Bing, it's just applying sunscreen, you shouldn't be jealous, right? Yunbing's pretty face froze for a moment, then she snorted, I already said, the four of us sisters are going to marry the same man, what's wrong with applying sunscreen? Jealous? Of course I'm not jealous. Xiao Ye raised an eyebrow, flipped off the recliner, walked over to Ziran, took the sunscreen from her hand, and poured some onto his palm. A crisp slap rang out as he slapped Ziran's thigh, then began to rub it gently. Looking at the purple lace so close to his eyes and the tight, fleshy feel, Xiao Ye tried to avoid looking. It would be bad if he got a reaction. Yunbing turned to the side, her beautiful eyes behind her sunglasses glaring angrily at Xiao Ye's back, jealous. Beware of fire, theft, and best friends. She'd previously said the four sisters married the same man just to tease Ziran. Now that Xiao Ye had actually touched her, she felt a pang of jealousy and discomfort. So she called out, Xiao Ye, hurry up and apply it, then help me apply some more later. Okay. Xiao Ye replied. Ziran's pretty face flushed, and she whispered, Does it feel good? Xiao Ye nodded. Her skin was soft and delicate, emitting a pleasant fragrance. It felt good to touch and smelled good. Ziran's face was slightly red, and she felt a strange unease. She threatened, If I let you touch it, you'd better do something, or I'll beat you up, Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye patted his chest, I'll try my best. Okay. Ziran was in a good mood and laughed, Don't just apply it to my legs, apply it to my feet too. Chapter 341 The white-haired girl template has a problem. Xiao Ye's gaze shifted downwards, landing on a translucent instep and delicate, rosy toes. Jade feet. Even though Xiao Ye wasn't a foot fetishist, he was captivated by these jade-like feet. Looking at those white and pink toes, he reached out and touched them. Ziran sensed something was amiss, her expression dry. She looked up, startled, and said, Xiao Ye, I told you to apply sunscreen, and you just touched my feet? Where's the sunscreen? Xiao Ye chuckled sheepishly, Sorry, I forgot to pour the sunscreen. He gently squeezed the toes a couple of times, then quickly poured on the sunscreen, and touched them again. The skin felt smooth and supple, delicate and moist. Oh no, there's murderous intent. At that moment, Xiao Ye felt a chilling aura emanating from behind him. Turning around, he saw Yunbing's cold, angry face. Fine, you only applied it to my legs, now you're even touching my feet. You're really something. Yunbing lifted Xiao Ye up with one hand and snorted, Let Ziran apply it herself. Do you expect my husband to apply it to my stinky feet? Next, you help me apply sunscreen, she said angrily. Xiao Ye was a little embarrassed, caught red-handed touching her feet. He scratched the back of his head and said, Hey, didn't you say you were at a high level and didn't need sunscreen? Yunbing glared at him and said angrily, I've changed my mind. What, you think my feet smell and don't want to put sunscreen on them? HMPH, you don't need to put it on anywhere else, just put it on my feet. Xiao Ye chuckled, They don't smell. How could Sister Yunbing's feet smell? Yunbing carried Xiao Ye to her recliner, then lay down on it, kicking her feet into Xiao Ye's lap. She squinted and said, You wanted to touch my feet, So hurry up and put it on. Xiao Ye nodded and, quite naturally, applied sunscreen to Yunbing without any resistance. Since Yunbing was his wife, he didn't hold back at all, rubbing, kneading, and even scratching her as he applied it. His body, now at the supreme realm, was free of impurities, exuding a pleasant fragrance. His feet were free of bacteria and athlete's foot. Xiao Ye didn't find it disgusting at all when he handled them. Suddenly, he received a telepathic message from Ziran. Xiao Ye, I not only showed you my legs, but I also let you touch them. You have to do me a favor. Take advantage of this gathering and find a way to showcase your masculine charm to Huangfu Xiangling a few more times. Let her understand male virility. That should be effective. Xiao Ye's eyes widened. Male virility? There's no use rushing these things, we must proceed slowly, he pondered. Sister Ziran, as the leader of the Supreme Alliance, you hold a high position and great power. You should know many renowned medical experts. Why not have them examine your disciple? Ziran sighed, her beautiful eyes dimming. They all said they couldn't help. This kind of thing is closely related to one's own experiences. The one who tied the knot must untie it. She is the daughter of Huangfu Yan, the city lord of the imperial capital base city, and a maid. The maid died in childbirth. As an illegitimate child, Xiangling's status was not recognized by the Huangfu family. She was treated coldly from a young age. Her father, Huangfu Yan, was also very indifferent to her. She never received enough fatherly love, and without a mother, she lacked maternal love. Coupled with the family's indifference, this led to her sexual orientation problem. I invited Huangfu Yan to visit the Supreme Alliance several times, but he refused, citing being too busy. It seemed he didn't want to see Xiangling. As for the Huangfu family, I have no way to help them. Xiao Ye remained silent. Huh? Yunbing felt Xiao Ye hadn't applied the makeup properly. Looking up, she saw him exchanging glances with Ziran, and instantly flew into a rage. She kicked Xiao Ye in the face and said, Xiao Ye, Ziran, what are you two talking about in private? Xiao Ye replied telepathically, we're discussing a solution to Huangfu Xiangling's orientation problem. Yunbing frowned and said, you can even solve template problems and physical defects, so her orientation problem should be easy to solve, right? Xiao Ye's lips twitched. So that's how awesome he was in Yunbing's eyes, easily solving orientation problems. I appreciate your high regard, but I'm not omnipotent. I can only solve template problems and physical defects, he retorted. Wait? What did you just say? Xiao Ye seemed to have caught something. Yunbing laughed. I said you can even solve template problems and physical defects, so this orientation problem is a piece of cake. Xiao Ye's eyes lit up. He slapped his thigh and said, could Huangfu Xiangling's orientation be a physical defect caused by a template issue? Even if she hates men because of her past experiences, does that mean she'll definitely like women? Yunbing looked at her thigh, which was bright red from the slap, and said speechlessly, damn it, if you want to slap someone, slap your own thigh. Why did you slap my thigh? Xiao Ye shrugged and said nonchalantly, so what if I slapped your thigh? Tonight, I'll slap other places on you. Not only slap, but I'll kick you. Don't forget your promise, Flight Attendant Uniform Yunbing. Yunbing rolled her eyes, I haven't forgotten. I'll go buy a flight attendant uniform later. Xiao Ye added, don't forget the hypers with the letters. Yunbing said irritably, whatever, as long as you're satisfied. Xiao Ye nodded and smiled, don't make it seem like only I'm satisfied. Only when I'm satisfied can I unleash stronger fighting power, only then can I be satisfied. At this moment, the white-haired girl, Huangfu Xiangling, had regained her usual lively and playful demeanor. She was splashing around in the deep hot spring, occasionally doing backflips and kicking water 10 meters high, frolicking and playing. She called out, Master, Aunt Yunbing, Xiao Ye, are you here to soak in the hot spring or to sunbathe? Come on down. Coming. Ziran smiled sweetly, leaping into the hot spring with her jade-like feet, then leaning against the shore to continue sunbathing. Yunbing slapped away Xiao Ye's mischievous hand, walked towards Ziran from behind, and then suddenly kicked the white-haired Ziran into the deep water of the hot spring, laughing loudly. Ziran, choked on water, ha, ha ha ha. At this moment, a slender, white arm reached out from underwater, grabbed Yunbing's ankle, and pulled her sharply. Splash. Yunbing stumbled and fell into the water, splashing water 20 meters high, her protective covering flying off, floating on the rippling surface of the hot spring. Ziran surfaced, giggling, her ample bosom trembling. "You'll taste what it's like to choke on water," she said. Xiao Ye stood on the bank, his gaze fixed on Huangfu Xiangling, whose face was slightly youthful but whose figure was quite attractive. He activated the template detection function of the template adjuster. Template detection function activated, detecting, SSS level devouring glutton template, upgradable, attribute, devouring attribute, template defect, due to the absorption of 15 devouring type attribute rule fragments during awakening, and no creation type rule fragments, the template is unstable. SSS level template can absorb a maximum of 10 rule fragments. Body defect, the template issue caused the rule power to go out of control, resulting in a distorted orientation. Upon receiving the detection results, Xiao Ye's lips twitched. It really was a template issue causing a body defect, not an orientation distortion caused by experiences. He knew it. Experiences might cause Huangfu Xiangling to dislike men, but those experiences wouldn't necessarily make her like women. Chapter 342 The truth comes out, and Ziran is shocked. The physical defects caused by the template problem are easy to solve. See the solutions. Template problem solution: extract the excess devouring rule fragments, leaving 8 devouring fragments, and then integrate 2 creation rule fragments to solve the template problem. Physical defect solution: use a secret massage technique to guide out the leaked rule power hidden deep within the genes, combined with the absorption and elimination by the Zhuangherong gem, which can restore her orientation to normal for a period of time. Exclusive massage secret technique, available to claim. Xiao Ye stroked his chin. He could easily handle either solution now. He could solve Huangfu Xiangling's template problem on the spot, directly eradicating the orientation problem, or he could massage her to temporarily resolve it. However, he was never a selfless person, much less a saint. He couldn't solve Huangfu Xiangling's template problem for free. But since Ziran had already let him see and touch her legs, he could expend some effort and use the secret technique provided by the template adjuster to temporarily resolve Huangfu Xiangling's orientation problem. In the hot spring, Yunbing, whose protective covering had been flung away, surfaced, spitting out mouthfuls of hot spring water. Huangfu Xiangling, seeing Yunbing's proud true appearance, widened her eyes in surprise, exclaiming, "Her assets are no less than masters." Then, her pretty face lit up with excitement, and with a doggy-style swimming motion, she grabbed the covering that had been flung aside and swam towards Yunbing. "Sister Yunbing, your clothes fell off, let me help you put them back on," the white-haired girl said with shining eyes and a grin. Yunbing opened her arms, without thinking much, and said, "Come on." Ziran was startled, and in a flash, snatched the cover, raised her jade foot and kicked Huangfu Xiangling away, saying, "Xiangling, go play somewhere else. Xiao Bing can dress herself, you don't need to help." Huangfu Xiangling felt as if she had been doused with cold water, her excitement instantly cooling down, her pretty face pouting, and she said, "I'm helping, not causing trouble, and you kicked me away again, HMPH. Ziran stood between the two, personally helping Yunbing put on the clothes, and while putting them on, she squeezed them a couple of times, quite surprised, saying, "It's a bit more magnificent than before, but you're still not as good as me." She puffed out her chest, somewhat narcissistic. Yunbing rolled her eyes speechlessly. Ziran was like that. She liked to compare her figure with other women, whether it was in adult films or with her real-life girlfriends. And she was very narcissistic. Ziran, in her purple lace dress, and Yunbing, in her bikini, arrived at the shallow water area, the two leaning lazily against the shore. Yunbing glanced at Ziran's delicate figure, then looked at herself, and her lips twitched. Ziran's figure was indeed slightly better than hers, especially with the purple lace accentuating her, making her look even more magnificent and alluring. Ziran stretched her swan-like neck, raised her head proudly, and said, "How about it? Aren't you inferior to me, Xiao Bing?" Yunbing was speechless and said disdainfully, "Don't be so narcissistic. Even if you have good assets, there are many people in the world who are better than you. My sister's assets are much better than yours." Ziran shook her head dismissively and laughed. "Do you think I believe that? Xiaozi and you are twin sisters. Although her temperament is different from yours, her figure is exactly the same as yours." Yunbing curled her lip. "If you don't believe me, fine. I have no reason to lie to you." Thinking of Yunzai's recent changes, Yunbing found it incredible. Her cultivation level had suddenly surged to the peak of quasi-saint, and her figure had also improved a lot. She was currently breaking through to the saint realm. Seeing that she didn't seem to be lying, Ziran pondered, it seems I need to go to the Shanghai-based city to see Xiao Ye. It's been so long since we've seen each other. It's time for the four beauties of the Dragon Kingdom to get together. Yunbing almost spat out blood upon hearing this. You haven't come to Shanghai in so long, but as soon as I mentioned that Yunzai has a better figure than you, you went. At this moment, Xiao Ye came between the two women, leaning against the edge of the hot spring pool, and said, Sister Yunbing, my shoulders are sore, give me a massage. Coming. Yunbing was very obedient, leaning over like a little wife, and raised her small hands to massage them, although her technique wasn't very good. Ziran rolled her eyes. Showing off your love in front of me, are you taking advantage of me because I don't have a man? Xiao Ye glanced at her arrogantly and said, Sister Ziran, I'm thirsty. Pour me a glass of milk. No, pour me two, one for me and one for Sister Yunbing. Ziran was a little speechless and called out, Xiangling, go to the cabinet upstairs and pour 3 drinks. We're thirsty. Huangfu Xiangling, who was in the distance, heard this and said, Okay, master. Not long after, the white-haired girl came ashore, shook the water off her tender skin, and ran to the liquor cabinet. She opened the cabinet, took out 4 glasses, randomly chose a soda that Ziran liked, filled them up, and then walked to the shore behind the 3 of them. Ziran took a cup, took a couple of sips with relish, exhaled a breath, and laughed. Xiao Ye, Xiao Bing, help yourselves. Hey, Xiangling, don't let your eyes wander. Don't keep staring at me and Xiao Bing's bodies. Huangfu Xiangling immediately averted her gaze, staring intently at the surface of the hot spring water. Xiao Ye stopped Yunbing from getting the soda, saying, Sister Ziran, I need you to pour us some milk. Ziran's lips twitched, incredulously saying, Xiao Ye, don't be ungrateful. There's ready-made soda, why do you expect me to go get it? I'm the leader of the Supreme Alliance, is it really appropriate for you to order me around like this? Yunbing also looked at Xiao Ye with a strange expression. Xiao Ye's lips curled into a smile. I already have a solution for your disciple's orientation problem. So, tell me if you want it or not. Ziran's beautiful eyes widened in surprise. Are you serious? Xiao Ye nodded. I never lie. Ziran scurried ashore, her long, jade-like legs carrying her to the liquor cabinet. She poured 2 glasses of milk and returned. Xiao Ye, please have some milk. Xiao Bing, please have some milk. Xiao Ye smiled and took a couple of sips. It's very milky and delicious. It's just that my right shoulder is a little sore. Sister Yunbing can't massage it on the left. Ziran rolled her eyes, raised her fair hands, and began to gently massage his right shoulder. You're the first person I, Ziran, would call out to as my maid. Yunbing chuckled and said irritably, Xiao Ye. What's your solution? Just say it. Xiao Ye glanced at the white-haired girl on the shore behind him. Huangfu Xiangling's big eyes darted around, holding 3 cups of soda without moving, her gaze once again drifting towards Yunbing's ample bosom, her eyes filled with excitement. Xiao Ye's lips twitched, she looked exactly like a lecherous old man. However, she was a woman, so he wasn't angry after glancing at his wife. Sister Ziran, your disciple's orientation problem isn't due to her childhood experiences, but rather a problem that occurred during her awakening. The Beast Girl template is unstable, leading to physical defects that have distorted her orientation. Oh. Ziran was shocked, her rosy lips gaping wide enough to fit an egg. A template problem? It's actually caused by a template problem. This is difficult. Template problems are unsolvable, no one can solve them. She frowned, looking very disappointed. Chapter 343 Treating the White-Haired Girl's Physical Defects. Ziran felt troubled. It's quite possible that it's caused by a template issue, but a template is just a manifestation of the Beast Girl era. It resides deep within the Beast Girl's genes, connecting the entire body. There's no treasure in the world that can detect template defects. Even treasures that detect template levels can only roughly detect the template level and type. Huangfu Xiangling was completely confused, shaking her head and saying, I don't have any problems. Liking something is just a hobby. Ziran sighed, I never really thought about templates before, but at least I have a direction now. Yunbing was speechless. Have you been the alliance leader for too long and lost your mind? Xiao Ye can see that it's a template defect, so naturally he has a way to solve it. Don't forget, Yun Zai and I both had template defects and couldn't form contracts with men, otherwise the contractor would explode and die. Ziran was shocked. Yes, you formed a contract. Wasn't your template defect resolved when you reached the mythical level? Yun Bing shook her head. No. Ziran stared at the two of them in disbelief, then exclaimed, I thought that once your template was upgraded to the mythical level, the template flaws would naturally disappear, allowing you to form a contract. I didn't expect the template flaws to be resolved first, before the template was upgraded. Ziran stared at Xiao Ye, rubbing his shoulders even more vigorously, and said, Xiao Ye, I wonder if you could resolve Xiangling's template flaws? Xiao Ye shook his head. I can resolve them, but not now. But don't worry, I have a way to temporarily resolve her physical flaw, which is her distorted orientation. He wanted to resolve the template issue for Huangfu Xiangling when the time was right. His relationship with Ziran and Huangfu Xiangling wasn't that close yet. Looking at Xiao Ye's confident smile, Ziran's impression of him improved. She didn't look down on him because of his age, truly treating him as an equal, as a contractor on par with Yun Bing, and as a man. Ziran's eyes shone with anticipation as she pleaded, Xiao Ye, please help my disciple correct his physical defects. I would be eternally grateful. Xiao Ye coughed and said, no problem. You've already seen and touched his legs, I promised you, so naturally I'll do what you ask. Ziran was overjoyed. After massaging his shoulders, she massaged his arms, not even noticing the softness against her skin. What rare and precious herbs do you need? Ziran asked. Xiao Ye, no need to prepare anything, just find a secluded place. Ziran looked up at the manor and pointed, is that place okay? It's private enough. I'll set up a few quasi-saint barriers to guarantee privacy. Xiao Ye nodded, sure. Ziran was overjoyed, her pure and pretty face beaming with undisguised joy. She excitedly went ashore, hugged the white-haired girl's shoulders, and said, Xiangling, you're saved? That's wonderful. Huangfu Xiangling. I'm not sick, what's there to save me from? Master, don't be like that, it makes me sound like I'm about to die, HMPH. In Huangfu Xiangling's mind, she had no problems whatsoever. Liking women was just a personal quirk, it wouldn't affect her health or cultivation, and had nothing to do with illness. Ziran's pretty face darkened. This disciple had been pestering her for the past 10 years, wanting to be close to her, wanting to share a kiss with her, and even saying she wanted to grow old with her and spend her whole life together. As her master, she was constantly worried. This was different from when they were close friends who clung to her and depended on her. HMPH. You're so deeply poisoned that you don't even realize it, and your perception is somewhat distorted. This illness of yours must be treated. Ziran sneered. Xiao Ye and Yun Bing went ashore and walked to the side. Xiao Ye said, it's fine here. Let's resolve this as soon as possible. Sister Yun Bing and I are going back to Shanghai. We won't stay in the capital city for long. Huangfu Xiangling, you've soaked in the hot spring long enough. You've washed away the sweat, so you shouldn't smell bad anymore. You're very clean and white. Just take off all your clothes and lie down in the bedroom. I'll use a secret technique to massage all your acupoints, and then use a special method to temporarily resolve your physical defect, which is your twisted sexual orientation. Don't worry, I'll wear gloves. Huangfu Xiangling was shocked, her eyes widening. She pointed at herself with her slender white fingers, incredulously saying, you want me to take off all my clothes and wait for you in bed, and then give you a full-body massage? Even if you're my savior, this request is too much? I'm not sick. What kind of treatment is this? What kind of treatment is this? Ziran's face turned cold, radiating the authority of a master, and she said, Xiangling, listen to me. This time, I won't allow you to be willful. Xiao Ye isn't trying to take advantage of you, and you're not worth taking advantage of. The authoritative voice made Huangfu Xiangling feel awkward and her face stiffened. Huangfu Xiangling pouted, looking very aggrieved, almost crying. Her pure eyes welled up with tears as she said, Master, I'll listen to you. Why are you so fierce? You've scolded me so many times today, more than you've done in a year. In her heart, Ziran played the roles of master, mother, and lover, giving her warmth and care, both strict and warm, making her someone to yearn for. Ziran's heart softened, and her attitude became gentle. She said softly, don't worry, I'll knock you out. You don't need to feel embarrassed. Everything will be fine when you wake up. Huangfu Xiangling. She hurriedly waved her hand and took a few steps back. No need. Master said it's for my own good. I'll just lie there naked and let Xiao Ye give me a massage. I'm going. After saying that, the white-haired girl turned around and ran away in a flash, disappearing into the manor. Ziran felt gratified and smiled. Xiao Ye, the rest is up to you. Xiao Ye walked towards the manor. No problem. After the massage, he and Yunbing would return to the magic capital base city. The purpose of this trip had been achieved. They had collected all the resources to upgrade Mu Kingsu's mythical level time template. Once back, they could immediately upgrade Mu Kingsu's template. That was a mythical level template, a time-based mythical level template at that. Space is king, time is emperor. A mythical level time-based template was even more advanced than a space-based one. After upgrading, it would definitely grant a user many legendary talent skills. For example, time stop, time fast forward, time reversal, or even time travel, traversing the past and future. Moreover, Mu Kingsu's template not only had time attributes but also reincarnation attributes. He had never understood what kind of abilities a reincarnation-based attribute would have. This rare attribute sounded incredibly powerful and mysterious. The awakened abilities should be extremely strong. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Seeing Xiao Ye enter the manor, Ziran unleashed the aura of a quasi-saint realm perfection cultivator, raising her hand to set up a quasi-saint level shield for the manor, severing all communication between the inside and the outside world to ensure privacy. After doing everything, Ziran was somewhat uneasy and nervous, hoping, I hope everything goes smoothly. Yunbing patted her shoulder and smiled. Trust him, he is my contractor, Yunbing's contractor. Inside the manor, Xiao Ye had already entered the master bedroom. What came into view was a patch of white, delicate body and the blushing face of the white-haired girl. Huangfu Xiangling said shyly, Xiao Ye, go for it, I can handle it. Chapter 344 Secret Massage Techniques, Remarkable Results. The little bamboo shoots were just beginning to sprout, and the white-haired girl was growing up. She possessed a well-proportioned body, with a curvaceous figure, smooth, fair skin, and a rosy complexion. Her figure was even better than Chengbixi's. Don't be nervous. I'm here as a doctor to treat your imperfections, not to take advantage of you. Relax, don't feel guilty. Seeing her flushed face, her hands tightly gripping the sheets, and her tense body, Xiao Ye offered her some psychological counseling. Okay, I'll just pretend I was bitten by a dog. Huangfu Xiangling was ready to go all out. Xiao Ye. He was speechless. He was helping her fix her physical imperfections, and she called him a dog? Fine, he'd already seen her naked, so let her curse him. Wait a moment. Xiao Ye retrieved the massage technique specifically for the white-haired girl from the template adjuster, which had been provided during the template inspection. He then read the massage technique, practicing it repeatedly in his mind, his eyes fixed on the acupoints on her delicate body to aid his practice. Huangfu Xiangling had mentally prepared herself, but when she noticed Xiao Ye's delay in starting the massage, she was somewhat surprised and wanted to see what he was doing. Looking up, her face flushed even more. Xiao Ye was staring intently at her body, nodding and smiling occasionally. His lewd behavior made Huangfu Xiangling suspect he was spying on her, probably thinking some lewd thoughts. Xiao Ye, what are you thinking? I'm warning you, even though you're my only male friend, I'll still get angry if you do this. Huangfu Xiangling scolded in a coquettish voice. I may not be able to beat you, but I can have my master beat you up. Xiao Ye's face darkened, and he retorted, this is a physical defect caused by a template problem. I'm just devising a unique massage technique for you, using only my eyes to deduce the treatment method, not touching you with my hands. You should be grateful. Huangfu Xiangling was surprised. Is that so? Xiao Ye was right. Medical masters do need to take the pulse to diagnose illnesses, and they do need to touch the patient to determine the specific condition. Although he nodded and smiled from time to time, his expression was calm, and his star-like eyes were clear, without the slightest hint of impurity. Huangfu Xiangling concluded that Xiao Ye wasn't spying on her just now, he was genuinely deducing a massage technique to treat her. She suppressed her earlier anger, closed her eyes shyly, and said, I'm sorry, I was ignorant. Look all you want, for as long as you like. You can even touch me, it's all for treatment purposes. Xiao Ye stared at her fair, delicate body and said, no need. Huangfu Xiangling felt relieved and said, Thank you. She was being seen naked, and Xiao Ye still had to thank him? He smiled. 10 minutes later, after practicing the white-haired girl's exclusive massage technique more than 10 times in his mind, he finally mastered it and felt ready to put it into practice. Xiao Ye said seriously, I've finished the simulation. I'll begin the massage. It might cause some unusual sensations during the process. Don't try to hold back. If you feel like moaning, just let it out. There's no one else here, no one will laugh at you. Huangfu Xiangling nodded. Xiao Ye put on disposable thin film gloves, took out the Zhuanghuang gem, activated its absorption function, and then directly began to massage. When he touched her cool, smooth skin, he could feel Huangfu Xiangling tremble all over. Relax. Xiao Ye gave her psychological counseling while using a secret technique to massage her. Following this unique method, the massage proceeded in the following order: first the hands, then the feet, then the upper body, then the lower body, and finally the legs, from front to back. While ostensibly a massage, it was actually a way to unblock her acupoints and meridians, forcing out excess power hidden deep within her genes for the Zhuanghuang gem to absorb. After massaging her hands, he began massaging her feet. Her small, adorable toes were creased together, and Xiao Ye had to use considerable effort to pry them open. Fortunately, her feet didn't have athlete's foot, they were delicate and small, white with a rosy tint, so Xiao Ye felt at ease and didn't feel disgusted while massaging them. After finishing her feet, he moved on to her upper body. When he placed his hands on her, Huangfu Xiangling tensed up, her muscles stiffening, making the massage difficult. Xiao Ye tried to reassure her, saying, Huangfu Xiangling, do you like your master? Huangfu Xiangling exclaimed in surprise, was my expression that obvious? You found out? Xiao Ye massaged her while smiling, yes, it's very obvious. Actually, Ziran had told him herself, he hadn't discovered it himself. Huangfu Xiangling's attention was diverted, her muscles relaxed, and she admitted, yes, master is so beautiful, so gorgeous, I do like her. The white-haired girl didn't think there was anything wrong with this. While massaging her, Xiao Ye said, your master is a woman, and you're a woman too. Does that mean you like women? Huangfu Xiangling giggled and said, yes, so what? Xiao Ye placed his hands on her ample bosom and began massaging, saying, you like women, so you must be very interested in women's bodies, right? You yourself are a woman. When you see your own body, do you get a reaction? Oh. The white-haired girl covered her face with her hands, shyly saying, it's a secret, I can't say. Xiao Ye was speechless. If she couldn't say, then she would. If she didn't, he could just deny it. Do you often peek at yourself? Or even touch yourself? Xiao Ye continued. Huangfu Xiangling was so shy she wanted to disappear into the ground. Don't ask, it's too embarrassing. Xiao Ye understood, that meant she would. Seeing her relax completely, but her face was still red, it was fine as long as it didn't interfere with the massage. After the upper body massage, it was time for the lower body. When Xiao Ye touched her, Huangfu Xiangling trembled again. Hang in there, it'll be over soon, Xiao Ye reassured her. He skillfully performed the massage techniques, kneading, rubbing, pricking, tapping, pinching, and grasping. 10 minutes later, it was time for the back. The back has many acupoints, and it took Xiao Ye half an hour to finish. Back done, now the posterior. Xiao Ye patted twice, making 2 slap sounds, and then laughed, it's done. The excess power of the rules hidden deep within the genes had been guided out and completely absorbed by the Zhuanghuang gem. If all went well, the white-haired girl's orientation should have returned to normal. I'll go out first. After you're dressed, come out and check the treatment effect, then tell your master to put her mind at ease. Xiao Ye clapped his hands, walked out, and closed the door. Ugh! Huangfu Xiangling blushed all over. Burying her head under the pillow, and said shyly, when he patted me twice at the end, I actually felt something strange. Could it be that he really cured me? I like women, is that really abnormal? After bathing, the white-haired girl put her cartoon underwear back on, walked out of the manor, and came to the hot spring. Ziran and Yunbing, with their devilish figures, stood there, but Huangfu Xiangling's eyes unconsciously drifted towards Xiao Ye's 8-pack abs in the distance, instead of Ziran and Yunbing. The white-haired girl was shocked. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. we warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 345 Huangfu Xiangling, So I Really Am Sick. Looking at his well-defined 8-pack abs and Xiao Ye's strong, powerful physique, she felt a surge of excitement. After a couple of glances, the white-haired girl blushed, her eyes darting away, avoiding direct eye contact and instead stealing glances. I actually have strange feelings for a man. I feel ashamed after just a couple of glances. How could this be? Huangfu Xiangling was shocked, unable to believe herself. Before, looking at a man's body would make her feel disgusted, let alone ashamed. But now, she felt not only no disgust, but also a slight excitement. Just like when she used to sneak peeks at her master, she felt an involuntary excitement and thrill. Am I really sick? After Xiao Ye's massage therapy, am I really cured? Huangfu Xiangling was incredulous. She had always believed that her attraction to women was just a personal fetish, unaffected by health or cultivation, and had nothing to do with illness. Only after the treatment did she realize that she really was sick. Huangfu Xiangling was surrounded by two mature women, one innocent and the other alluring. Ziran reached out and pinched her cheeks, breasts, and perch shape, asking in surprise, "She looks the same as before, Xiangling. Did you notice any changes?" Yunbing said speechlessly, "Ziran, a twisted orientation is a psychological issue, not a physical one. Why are you touching and pinching her like that? You need to seduce her a little to find out." Ziran suddenly realized, then said angrily, "But I don't know how to seduce people. How do I do it?" Rip. Yunbing untied Ziran's lace bra, letting her breasts sway freely. Ziran was shocked, covering herself with her hands, her pure and pretty face flushed red. She angrily said, "Xiaobing, Xiao Ye is still here. Do you want me to be seen naked?" Yunbing's lips curled up slightly, a mischievous smile appearing on her face. She laughed and said, "You're hiding behind him, what can he see? The most important thing now is to see your disciple's reaction." Ziran glared at Yunbing, lowered her hands, and stared intently at the white-haired girl, observing her subtle changes in expression. She asked, "Xiangling, is it pretty?" Huangfu Xiangling's eyes wandered, her attention not on this at all. The image of Xiao Ye's 8-pack abs flashed through her mind, and her pretty face was flushed. "Huh? Master, what did you say?" "Oh, Master, where are your clothes?" The white-haired girl came back to her senses, her beautiful eyes sweeping over Ziran's ample bosom, several question marks rising in her head. Ziran was shocked. Her disciple had actually been distracted. Seeing her delicate body didn't excite her. After a cursory glance, her attention shifted to her clothes. In the past, her disciple would have been beaming with excitement, leering at her, and then rushing over for a hug. "Oh dear, Master, you're showing too much skin. Quickly put your clothes back on." Huangfu Xiangling snatched the purple lace bra from Yunbing's hand and handed it to Ziran. Ziran took the purple lace cover and bounced around a couple of times, causing Aoran to tumble and sway. She tentatively asked, "Xiangling, is it pretty? I can show it to you every day." The white-haired girl watched Aoran sway back and forth, her heart unmoved, her eyes clear and bright. A look of surprise crossed her pretty face as she retorted, "Master, are you a pervert? Who are you trying to seduce? It's so strange. When I used to like women, you always avoided me, not even letting me shake your hand. Now, I don't like women anymore, and Master has become a pervert. Dancing a striptease in front of your disciple in broad daylight, really?" Disciple never expected Master to have such an exhibitionist fetish. A hint of disdain flashed in her beautiful eyes as she looked at Ziran's pure yet mature face, as if she were a pervert. Ziran's face darkened, a wave of MMP washing over her. Yunbing chuckled, then burst into laughter, clutching her stomach and bending over with mirth. She pointed at Ziran, tears welling in her eyes. "Ha ha ha. The noble and pure goddess, called an exhibitionist, and even looked down upon by her own disciple, ha ha ha." Ziran's face darkened. She quickly put on her lace dress and flicked Huangfu Xiangling's forehead. The white-haired girl covered her head with both hands, her large eyes showing a wronged expression. "Master, why did you hit me?" Ziran said speechlessly, "Your flaw has been cured, and now you dare to laugh at me? Have you grown bolder? And you, Xiaobing, it was all your bad idea that made me look bad." "Humph, I'm angry. Ziran said angrily, hands on her hips. As the leader of the Supreme Alliance, she held a high position and was aloof, a pure goddess, yet she danced a striptease. Was that appropriate? Striptease was something only promiscuous women did. For her disciple to go to such lengths, Ziran felt she had done more than enough, cared enough, and been responsible enough. No, well, Yun Bing said, seeing that she was truly angry, after observing you just now, I've noticed that your figure is indeed better than mine. Even compared to my sister, you can rival her. Ziran's expression changed, her anger replaced by smugness. She puffed out her chest proudly, her pure and pretty face full of smugness, and said narcissistically, that's right, my figure, Ziran's, is the best in the world, unmatched by anyone, even your sister can't compare. Yun Bing's lips twitched. She got all smug after a few compliments. She was truly narcissistic and concerned about her figure. Who would have thought that the leader of the alliance, commanding hundreds of supreme beings in the Dragon Kingdom, the pure goddess of countless men's dreams, was actually a narcissist with a peculiar fetish for comparing figures with women. After smugly enjoying herself for a while, Ziran took Huangfu Xiangling's hand and walked to Xiao Ye, who was lazily sunbathing on a recliner. With gratitude in her eyes, she said sincerely, Xiao Ye, thank you so much this time. Not only did you improve my disciple's stereotypical view of men, but you also went straight to the root cause of her distorted orientation and solved her problem, bringing her back on track. Thank you. Xiangling quickly thanked Xiao Ye and bowed. Huangfu Xiangling's eyes had already been fixed on Xiao Ye's strong and powerful body. Her pretty face flushed red, as beautiful as a flower. She bowed and said, Xiao Ye, thank you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't even know I was sick. I really am sick. Her gaze then drifted to Xiao Ye's handsome, well-defined face. Suddenly, she squeezed her legs together, her shy face turning bright red to her ears. Hiss. Ziran gasped, seeing her disciple's strange expression. Xiangling, has she developed feelings for Xiao Ye? This is bad. Xiao Ye is my sister's contractor. Is it acceptable for my disciple to fall for him? Outrageous. Xiao Ye waved his hand dismissively, it's alright. I accepted your favor, so I should do your bidding. Don't get too excited. I only temporarily resolved her physical defect, the effect will only last a week. If your disciple's training or combat causes the template to vibrate, this effect might disappear after a day, and her twisted orientation will return to normal. Then he called out, Sister Yunbing, pack up, we should head back to Shanghai. Yunbing replied, okay. Chapter 346 Flight Attendant Uniform Yunbing. Master, I want to go to Shanghai. Huangfu Xiangling said expectantly, her legs crossed. Yunbing was startled. How come another stunningly beautiful beast girl is coming to Shanghai? The eldest daughter of the Qin family is still at the academy, her purpose for coming is impure, and now Huangfu Xiangling is coming too? Judging from the white-haired girl's expression, she seems to have developed some affection for Xiao Ye, her eyes sparkling with spring-like desire. Xiao Ye smiled and said, if you want to visit Kunpeng Academy, we welcome you anytime. The white-haired girl smiled, Master, don't you have a good friend in Shanghai? Ziran thought for a moment and said, recently, the Supreme Alliance doesn't have any urgent matters that require my attention. It's good that we take this opportunity to go to Shanghai for a few days. However, I need to make some arrangements first, so we might be able to go tomorrow. Huangfu Xiangling's pretty face lit up with joy, her big eyes narrowing into crescent shapes. Ziran, recalling her disciple's change of heart, asked, Xiao Ye, what resources and treatment conditions are needed to solve Xiangling's template problem? Please cure my disciple's defect completely, and I will pay you a satisfactory reward. Xiao Ye hesitated. Yunbing kicked him lightly, scolding, if you can cure it, then do it. Although Ziran is the leader of the Supreme Alliance, her character is trustworthy. She won't leak this matter, nor will she be jealous of your abilities. You don't need to worry about any trouble after the treatment. Xiao Ye slapped her plump, round bottom, saying irritably, I didn't say I wouldn't treat it. Do you think solving a template problem is simple? It was indeed simple, but he couldn't say it was simple. After all, in everyone's understanding, template problems were unsolvable, impossible to address. Then, he instructed Ziran, no need to prepare any resources for now. I'll let you know when the time is right. Note, Huangfu Xiangling cannot cultivate or fight these next few days, Otherwise it will affect the stability of the template, and the healing effect will end prematurely. Ziran nodded heavily, indicating that it was no problem. Hey, Flight Attendant Yunbing, let's go. In front of everyone, Xiao Ye slapped Yunbing's pert buttocks again. After getting dressed, Xiao Ye and Yunbing exited a dimensional secret realm through the blue light portal and used special teleportation to return to the demon capital. Huangfu Xiangling stared blankly at the blue light portal, motionless. Ziran was overjoyed, almost laughing out loud. Ha ha ha. Great. My disciple has finally returned to normal and won't want to kiss me like before. She's finally solved a worrying problem. Ziran took off her Pikachu patterned sunglasses and placed them in Huangfu Xiangling's hand, saying meaningfully, Xiao Ye told me that you're more interested in sunglasses than 8-pack abs. Here, take them with you, you can take them home and play with them. Huangfu Xiangling looked at the sunglasses in her hand, her face wrinkling in regret. What was so interesting about these sunglasses? Pikachu was nowhere near as attractive as 8-pack abs. Back then, she hadn't even touched her 8-pack abs, but was interested in sunglasses instead. Really? HMPH, I don't want this. She casually tossed the sunglasses onto the recliner. PFFT. Ziran chuckled, how about it, regretting it now? Ha ha ha. Huangfu Xiangling felt that after her orientation changed back, some of her perceptions had also changed. Pikachu was such a childish thing, how could it be as attractive as a man? Meanwhile, Xiao Ye and Yunbing had already returned from the imperial capital base city to the villa of the second vice dean of Kunpeng Academy in the Magic City base city via spatial teleportation. Huh? What's this? The two entered the villa and immediately sensed a powerful and supreme aura emanating from the adjacent villa number 1. They exchanged a glance, both seeing the shock in each other's eyes. Sister Yangxi is about to break through to the Saint Realm. My sister is about to reach the Saint Realm, they exclaimed in unison. This aura contained profound and mysterious special rule power. Although the quantity was small, it was a typical characteristic of entering the Saint Realm. Venerables and Great Venerables cultivate and absorb the power of intent. Supremas cultivate and absorb Taoist energy, using magical beast crystals or the sparse Taoist energy that lingers in the heavens and earth. Saints cultivate and absorb the power of rules, using crystallized fragments of rules or the lingering power of rules in the heavens and earth. Protect her, the two decided. They left Villa number 2 and headed to Villa number 1, entering and going to the 3rd floor where Yangxi was located. Here, the concentration of special rule power was significantly higher than outside. Then let's stay in the living room on the 3rd floor and protect her. Xiao Ye looked around. There were a few panties and bras on the sofa, probably left behind by Yunzai. Protecting her meant preventing outsiders from getting close and interfering with Yunzai's breakthrough. Xiao Ye and Yunbing were here specifically to avoid disturbance. Yunbing flashed and disappeared, returning half a minute later with a delicate bag, saying, where you protect her doesn't matter. Let's go into the bedroom next door. This is the flight attendant uniform you wanted, and some nylon stockings with letters on them. Xiao Ye exclaimed, your sister is in the next room, are you sure you want to play this? Yunbing rolled her eyes, her charming face full of allure, she won't peek, it's fine. Besides, I'm not in her room playing a uniform game with you. Hurry up, I'm itching to play, you can kick me however you want. Yunbing grabbed Xiao Ye's hand and led him straight into the second bedroom next to Yunzai's. After closing the door, she stripped naked and changed into a flight attendant's sexy uniform in front of Xiao Ye. Come on, you rascal. As Xiao Ye's vision went black, he was pinned down and time slowly passed. Half an hour later, a cracking sound rang out from the master bedroom next door, like the sound of a bottleneck breaking. I've broken through to the Saint Realm. Yunzai was overjoyed. Within her graceful body and meridians, there was already a trace of special rule power under her control. This meant that she had advanced to the Saint Realm. The quasi-Saint Realm transforms the body into an attribute body, but still cultivates special Dao energy, a product of rule power. Upon reaching the Saint Realm, however, one cultivates rule power, transforming one's own Dao energy into rule power and skillfully using it. When one cultivates to a very deep level, one can come into contact with a physical body of special rules and break through to the quasi-Emperor realm. Legend has it that for each attribute, each planet can only give birth to one Emperor realm being. The Emperor realm is the one who controls the physical body of the rule power in the world. For example, a space attribute beast girl, After mastering the power of special rules, can break through the barrier of the 10th level Saint realm and advance to the quasi-emperor realm, beginning to contact the physical form of the special rules. The stronger the connection established with the physical form, the more power she can mobilize, and the higher her realm in the quasi-emperor realm. Once she controls the physical form, she can advance to the emperor realm. After gathering and absorbing the scattered special rule power around her, Yangxi frowned, as if she heard some embarrassing moans. The sounds were very close, seemingly coming from the next room, the second bedroom. She extended her divine sense, directly penetrating the next room, and witnessed a scene that shocked her. Chapter 347 Yangxi discovers a new world. Yangxi's usually aloof and unapproachable face visibly flushed, turning a deep red that reached her ears. You, Yunbing, how dare you? Doing this in my villa, and right next door. It's upside down. You can do that? Her eyes widened, and she swallowed hard. Just looking at it makes me blush. Yunbing looks exactly like me, it's like I'm right there. She quickly withdrew her divine sense, afraid to look again, lest she develop some strange attributes. But the scene she had just witnessed lingered in her mind, frozen in time, igniting her curiosity. Maybe I should take one more look, just one more. Yunbing extended her divine sense again, penetrating the wall to peek into the next room. Oh! Yangxi gasped, her aloof face widening in surprise, her beautiful eyes widening in astonishment. An hour later, Yunbing and Xiao Ye emerged from the second bedroom, having showered, and entered the living room. Huh? All the special rule power here is gone. Did Yunzai successfully break through? Yunbing asked in surprise. After her template upgraded to the mythical level, her physique also evolved, raising her life level several notches. She could easily perceive the rule power of her own attributes, namely the special rule power. Both Xiao Ye and Yunbing could easily sense the special rule power. The complete disappearance of the special rule power in the living room was easily noticed by the two. She must have broken through to the Saint realm. Xiao Ye nodded. Yunbing's beautiful eyes lit up. She walked towards Yunzai's bedroom, and upon reaching the door, she practically barged in, eagerly saying, "Come quick, see what changes my sister has undergone since breaking through to the Saint realm." Xiao Ye stopped her from opening the door, shaking his head and saying, "She just broke through, her realm is still very unstable. She needs time to consolidate it. It's not appropriate for you to barge in like this." Yunbing slapped her forehead, annoyed. "I didn't even think of that. I almost made a huge mistake." Xiao Ye smiled. "I'll go back first. You can stay here and guard it. I've gathered all the upgrade resources from Yu Qingsu. I'm going to go upgrade her template." Yunbing's eyes widened. "A mythical time-type template? I want to see you upgrade your template. Time-type templates are extremely rare. Among the billions of people in the Dragon Kingdom, there's probably only one like Yu Qingsu. Once such a template appears, its level is bound to be SSS level, with extremely high prestige and power, let alone a mythical level template." Xiao Ye shook his head. "No, you must stay here and protect her." Yunbing nodded regretfully. Meanwhile, in Villa number 10 of the Lakeside Villa District, Yu Qingsu and Qin Zir were squatting on the sofa, their pretty faces beaming with excitement. They held game controllers in their hands, their beautiful eyes glued to the large screen, playing a game called King of Fighters. "Sister Qingsu, watch my deadly scissor kick, hehe. Zir, don't get too cocky, I can burrow underground. HMPH, every time I use a special move, you burrow underground to dodge. Why don't you try?" "No way, Naya Naya Naya." As they played, their eyes were suddenly covered by a hand, and a magnetic male voice came from behind them. "Guess who I am? It's Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye is back." The two girls were excited upon hearing this, immediately throwing their controllers onto the table, quitting the game. Games were nothing compared to Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye withdrew his hand, snapped his toes, and laughed. "You guessed right." Yu Qingsu did a backflip over the sofa, pounced on Xiao Ye, and giggled. "I guessed right, you have to give me a reward." Xiao Ye gave her a kiss. Qin Zir adjusted her unladylike posture, sitting upright on the sofa like a well-bred young lady, tilting her head to look at Yu Qingsu and Xiao Ye, her beautiful eyes full of envy and longing. Xiao Ye put Yu Qingsu down and smiled. "The resources are all gathered, let's enter the Holy Spirit's secret realm now." Yu Qingsu was overjoyed, gave Xiao Ye a quick kiss on the cheek, and exclaimed with delight, "Okay." At this moment, Her heart was filled with happiness, and she became the happiest woman in the world. From the moment she and Xiao Ye formed a contract, when Xiao Ye called her a temporary couple, to being recognized for her identity, then their relationship improved and became closer, and now Xiao Ye was finally willing to help her improve her template. This meant that Xiao Ye truly treated her as a husband and wife, and was willing to spend time and energy on her. Xie, we have to go out for 2 or 3 days. Do as you please, Mu Qingsu instructed. At this moment, Cheng Bingxi, Nanguang Xiao, and Liya, who had sensed Xiao Ye's return in the underground cultivation room, finished their cultivation and came to the living room on the first floor. They all knew that Xiao Ye had gone to the capital to collect resources for upgrading the time template. His return meant he had gathered the resources. The mythical time template was a legendary template, extremely prestigious, and the 3 women wanted to see Mu Qingsu upgrade it. We want to go together, Cheng Bingxi said. Xiao Ye readily agreed. They were all his contracted beast girls, and he wanted to satisfy his curiosity. Seeing everyone else going, Qin Xie raised her hand and said weakly, Xiao Ye, I want to go too. Don't worry, although I'm clumsy, I promise I won't cause any trouble. I have the ability to bless, which can help everyone improve their luck and increase their success rate. Xiao Ye exchanged glances with everyone and frowned. Sorry, you can't go. We need to ensure privacy. Mu Qingsu also said, Xie, you can stay here, stroll around the campus, or audit classes. We'll be back in 2 or 3 days. Ensure privacy? Qin Xie was very disappointed. Her delicate face lost its smile, and her beautiful eyes dimmed. She said, I'll just stay home. I'm not going. Her mood became low, and she felt empty inside. Xiao Ye still treated her like an outsider, as did Mu Qingsu. Among all these beautiful beast girls, she was the only one treated as an outsider by Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye shrugged, opened a blue portal leading to the inner-dimensional world of the Bronze Palace, and, holding Mu Qingsu's hand, entered. Cheng Bingxi, Nanguang Xiao, and Liya followed. Qin Xie looked at the blue portal, wanting to step in, but she forcibly restrained herself until the portal disappeared. Back on the sofa, she picked up the game controller and looked at the game still playing on the large screen on the wall, but she found it utterly boring and uninteresting. Staring blankly at the screen, her thoughts drifted elsewhere. The 9th level of the Bronze Palace dimensional world, the Holy Spirit secret realm. Xiao Ye, Mu Qingsu, Cheng Bingxi, Nanguang Xiao, and Liya, through the blue portal, arrived at the ground in the center of the vast grassland where the upgrade template had been located. Stepping on the grass, ravaged by the previous template upgrades, Xiao Ye chuckled. Bingxi, Xiao, and sister Liya, the 3 of you retreat to the edge of the grassland to avoid being accidentally injured by the leaked power of the rules. Qingsu, we haven't summoned your template summon beast yet, so today we'll summon it and upgrade your template level. SSS rank time candle dragon template, attributes, time-based, reincarnation-based, realm, first tier venerable realm. After Cheng Bingxi and the other 2 retreated to the edge of the grassland, Xiao Ye and Mu Qingsu activated their contract power. A melodious and clear dragon roar resounded throughout the heavens and earth. Chapter 348 Traveling Through Time, Back and Forth Between the Past and Future. A tall, imposing, and elongated figure hovered in midair. It possessed rabbit eyes, deer antlers, a bull's mouth, a camel's head, tiger paws, eagle claws, fish scales, and a snake's body. A typical Eastern dragon, entirely crimson, and 100 meters long. Its aura was extremely profound and mysterious, indicating it was at the 9th level of the venerable realm. Its vertical pupils were filled with coldness and majesty. Xiao Ye and Mu Qingsu, in their consciousness form, resided within the Crimson Dragon's mind, able to perceive their own situation. Mu Qingsu let out a soft "A," and asked curiously, how come the summoned beast's realm is at the 9th level of the venerable realm? Didn't I just break through to the 1st level of the venerable realm? Xiao Ye replied, you are indeed at the 1st level of the venerable realm, but I am not. Mu Qingsu suddenly realized, oh right, you are at the 9th level of the venerable realm, and the summoned beast's realm has also been raised to the 9th level. It's just that the consumption of mental energy is a bit terrifying. This state can probably only last for half an hour. As they spoke, the 2 controlled the Crimson Candle Dragon, circling and swimming around in the sky. A few seconds later, they landed to begin upgrading the template. Xiao Ye took out the 50 creation type, 50 time type, and 50 reincarnation type rule fragment crystals required for upgrading the template from the system space. Place them around the candle dragon, and toss them outwards. The rule fragment crystals automatically floated in midair. Ready? Upgrade begins. Xiao Ye called out. Xie said excitedly, let's go. Xiao Ye activated the template adjuster and started the template upgrade function. SSS rank time candle dragon template, mythical rank time emperor candle dragon template, buzz buzz buzz. A supreme power erupted from the template adjuster, enveloping the crimson candle dragon and the rule fragment crystals. The previously dormant rule fragment crystals were all activated, their power of creation, time, and reincarnation rules surging and spreading in all directions. A very strange phenomenon appeared. The weeds on the ground, which were messy and disorderly 1 second, became perfectly neat and lush the next, as if they had never been trampled. After becoming lush and green, the next second, they strangely all shortened, becoming shorter and greener, like newly sprouted buds. After becoming buds, a second later, the state of the grass changed again, returning to its original messy and aged state. The mutated ant colony beneath the grass also suffered terribly. Worker ants tasked with reproduction for the queen were reduced to larvae, causing the reproduction to fail. The queen was even more horrifying, reduced to a foul-smelling corpse, as if she had been dead for some time. This terrified the already shrunken reproductive tools of the worker ants, causing them to shrink and lose their function. Not only that, some weeds appeared as phantoms, some magical beasts, some just weeds. The phantoms appearing on the ant colony were bizarre and varied. Some were 100-meter tall mammoths, some were pugs drinking water, some were flies buzzing around a pile of dung, and some were humans in ancient robes. Buzz! A vast and surging power of rules spread outwards, and anything touched would suffer irreversible effects. Cheng Bingxi, Nanguang Xiao, and Liu Yang, who were watching the spectacle from the edge of the grassland, were astonished, exclaiming repeatedly, Xie, you're amazing. Wow, this is time-related stuff. It's incredible. The timeline of the weeds on the grassland changes constantly. One moment they're old, the next they're young, then they're in their grave. I've learned something new. I didn't even see this in the library. Time is truly mysterious and terrifying. It can reverse aging, and it can also directly put a creature into its grave, allowing it to become any time period of its own. Yet, it's amazing, but what's with that phantom? I don't understand it. Xie's candle dragon and my 5-claw golden dragon both have the bodies of eastern dragons, but their abilities and attributes are completely different. I can feel how terrifying it is. The three of them watched the power of the rules spread out, but they didn't panic. Instead of running away, they excitedly jumped around, pointing at the phenomenon and excitedly discussing it. Whoosh! Just as the power of the rules was about to spread out, the supreme power enveloping the candle dragon and the fragments of rules came into play, directly gathering all the power of the rules back and confining it within 1,000 meters of the candle dragon, preventing it from escaping. Enveloped by the supreme power, Xie felt incredibly clear-headed, and looking at the changes in the weeds and mutated ant colony on the ground, she exclaimed how awesome it was. That's how powerful I, Xie, am. She was very excited and said arrogantly, Xiao Ye, once I have these abilities, if you dare to hit me again, I'll turn you into a child Xiao Ye and make sure you can't get into bed. Xiao Ye was unconvinced. I'm immune to your talent skill, so what can you do? You want to make me unable to get into bed? I'll make sure you can't get out of bed, okay? Besides, you focus on the changes in the weed's own timeline, while I focus on the phantoms that appear on them. These phantoms include all kinds of creatures, including magical beasts, humans, and magical plants. It should be a manifestation of another attribute of your template. A reincarnation attribute. I just don't know if these phantoms are their reincarnations, their previous life, their next life, or their life before that. What kind of abilities does a reincarnation attribute have? It seems even more mysterious than a time-related attribute. He asked curiously. Xie chuckled, who cares? Once our template is upgraded, everything will be clear. We can possess all these phenomena and abilities. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. During their conversation, one fragment of creation, one fragment of time, and one fragment of reincarnation entered the crimson candle dragon's body, transforming into power of rules. In an instant, Xie felt as if her body was about to explode, letting out a cry. A venerable level summoned beast couldn't possibly contain power of rules, But under the influence of that supreme power, the violent power of rules became gentle and docile, no longer causing trouble, gradually turning into specks of light that dissolved into the crimson candle dragon's limbs and bones. After the 3 different types of rule fragments dissolved, under the influence of the supreme power, 6 more rule fragments floating around it whooshed into the dragon's body, 2 of creation, 2 of time, and 2 of reincarnation. Xiao Ye and Mengxuan, enveloped by a profound and mysterious realm, entered a state of enlightenment. Space reigns supreme, time is king. Time pauses, time fast forwards, time rewinds. Biological timelines, world timelines, cosmic timelines. Traversing time, going back and forth between the past and the future. All timelines return to oneself, under one's complete control. Reincarnation, the laws of the universe. Memory erasure, countless cycles of reincarnation. The path of animals, the path of demons, the path of demonic plants, the path of holy spirits. Chapter 349 Mythical Time Emperor Candle Dragon Template. Controlling reincarnation, preserving memories, sharing information, omniscient. Inheriting attributes, extracting abilities, embodying 3,000 rules, transcending planets and universes. Infinite reincarnation, for millennia, eternally indestructible. Insights surfaced in Xiao Ye and Mengxuan's minds. These insights were complex and intricate, profound and far-reaching, extremely difficult to understand, and even more difficult to master. Initially, the two could only roughly grasp the surface meaning. However, as fragments of rules continuously entered and dissolved into the Crimson Candle Dragon's body, while the Crimson Candle Dragon's template level remained at SSS, its template upgrade incomplete, its talents and aptitudes were gradually increasing. 3, 6, 9, 18, 36. The Crimson Candle Dragon's improved aptitudes and talents were synchronized with Xiao Ye and Mengxuan's. Aptitudes and talents were also categorized. The two were improving their time-related and reincarnation-related aptitudes and talents. As their aptitude and talent improved, like the sun breaking through the rain and fog, those complex, obscure, and difficult to understand things became clear and easy to comprehend. Their understanding of time and reincarnation also deepened. Insights and realizations dawned on them. Buzz buzz buzz. The Crimson Candle Dragon's body continued to grow larger, becoming even more imposing and powerful, its aura becoming increasingly mysterious and profound. It had only 4 claws, but each claw had 5 toes. As fragments of rules entered the Crimson Candle Dragon's body, its template upgrade was nearing its end. Xie tucked her delicate white toes in her hands and held them up to Cheng Bingxi's nose, letting her smell them. She giggled, "How are they? My feet don't smell bad, right?" Cheng Bingxi brushed her hands away, her face darkening. "You can smell your own feet, or let Xiao Ye smell them. Don't make me smell them. Even though they don't smell bad, they still bother me." Xie nodded, agreeing. She tilted her head and said, "Okay then, I'll let Xiao Ye smell them. I'll put them in his mouth, he should like them." Liu stared intently at the Crimson Candle Dragon, her attention completely focused on it. She asked, "Bingxi, can you control this candle dragon?" Cheng Bingxi weighed the options in her mind and shook her head. "I can't control it. Although it's a dragon, its dragon vein level is no lower than that of a 5-clawed golden dragon." Cheng Bingxi exclaimed in surprise, "Oh no. This is bad. King Xu's template is so powerful. Xiao Ye will probably favor her even more and neglect us. What should we do?" Cheng Bingxi and Liu Ye rolled their eyes at her. King Xu's template is indeed mysterious, but we're not inferior to her. Exactly, don't forget, your template has 9 lives, 9 lives that can recover to peak condition in a very short time. Besides that, it can also regenerate from a drop of blood, although the recovery time is very long. Each has its own characteristics. Xiao, you don't need to belittle yourself." After being scolded and having her wrong thoughts corrected, Xiao nodded and said, "I understand." Cheng Bingxi, yes, after King Xu finishes leveling up, let's let her show off the awesomeness of time-related attributes. Liu Ye thought this suggestion was good and wholeheartedly agreed. In the center of the great grassland, in the sky, the color of the Crimson Candle Dragon gradually changed, turning into a blackish red. Its body also became extremely large, reaching a length of 1,000 meters, hovering in the air like a prehistoric behemoth, radiating an extremely terrifying aura. All the crystallized fragments of rules all entered the body of the blackish red candle dragon. The most significant changes occurred within the body, with every aspect undergoing sublimation, evolution, and enhancement. At the microscopic level, this included genes, DNA, cells, and so on. At the macroscopic level, it encompassed limbs, meridians, internal organs, and the brain. The template, a term from the Beast Girl era, refers to a materialized entity within a living organism, involving all cells, genes, DNA, and body parts. Upgrading the template level is akin to biological evolution, resulting in a complete sublimation of the entire body. Template upgrade complete. Saving realm function initiating. The template adjuster message arrived. Xiao Ye and Mu Qingsu also emerged from their state of enlightenment, their various abilities becoming clear as if guided by a shadow. Mu Qingsu was overjoyed. Time-related attribute abilities are more than just prophecy. Xiao Ye was also delighted. Reincarnation-related attribute abilities are truly eye-opening. I'll check the information panel after my realm is saved to see exactly what abilities I've gained after the upgrade. You spoiled little girl, didn't you complain that your realm was too low? After the template upgrade, you can advance one level in a day at the Venerable Realm. You'll catch up with us soon. How about it, are you happy? Mu Qingsu laughed. Of course I'm happy. I'll catch up with you, then surpass you, and become the master. Xiao Ye chuckled. Your realm improvement will give me feedback. Your realm will never surpass mine, you'll always be beneath me. He took out 109th tier crystal cores, 100 Grandmaster level crystal cores, 100 Great Grandmaster level crystal cores, and 100 Venerable level crystal cores from his system space and threw them around the black-red candle dragon. Xiao Ye had already prepared these crystal cores. With his status in realm, he could easily obtain low-level crystal cores. Swish swish swish. Under the influence of supreme power, crystal cores entered the body of the black-red candle dragon, transforming into the purest energy liquid, continuously melting and being absorbed by the dragon. After a period of time, the black-red candle dragon's realm remained at the 9th level of the Venerable Realm. While still at the 9th level of the Venerable Realm, its aura was now more than 10 times stronger than before. Template upgrade complete, realm preserved. The template adjuster's message indicated that the upgrade was completely finished. Xiao Ye opened the template information panel to view the talent skill descriptions. Mythical Time Emperor Candle Dragon Template. Attributes: Time-based, Reincarnation-based. Realm: 9th rank of Venerable Realm. Talent skills: Time-based talent skills. Time stop: when facing opponents of the same realm, time stops for 5 seconds. For opponents of higher realms, the stop time is reduced. Can be used on single targets or groups. Time fast forward: accelerates the target's time flow while maintaining external time. Can be used on oneself for cultivation. The acceleration multiplier depends on the cost. Currently, it can be tripled at this realm. Time rewind: rewinds time by 1 second. Can be used on single targets or groups. Time slow down: the effect is the opposite of time fast forward. Can be used on enemies, slowing their time flow while maintaining one's own. Can be used on single targets or groups. Reincarnation-based talent skills: infinite reincarnation. After death, the soul remains intact and enters the reincarnation cycle, allowing for reincarnation. Memory retention: as the name suggests, reincarnation memories are retained. Attribute inheritance: after reincarnation, the player can inherit the rules and attributes from the previous life. Precise reincarnation: the type of reincarnation can be selected, allowing for precise rebirth. Memory retrieval: allows the target to retrieve fragmentary memory information from any of their past lives. Chapter 350 Time Pause. Xiao Ye can now achieve infinite reincarnation, naturally becoming immortal. Mu Qingsu said with some regret, the talent skill of altering the timeline is not something we can master at our current level. We can only control the timeline of living beings when our level is higher. Xiao Ye said, don't be too greedy. Just one time fast forward will give you 3 times more cultivation time than others. Time fast forward can speed things up 3 times, which means that 1 day for others is 3 days for you. Mu Qingsu laughed. I will work hard to cultivate and catch up with you. Xiao Ye also understood why Mu Qingsu had memories of her past life and why she knew he was a Saint Realm reincarnation. She possessed reincarnation type attributes, had information sharing abilities, and her talent skill was passively activated, automatically extracting memories of her past life. Qingsu, make good use of this information sharing ability. You might learn some interesting things. Xiao Ye remembered that there was still a remnant soul of Mu Kingsu's past life in this world, a Saint Realm remnant soul. Although it was very weak, with only a wisp of soul, it was still a Saint Realm remnant soul. Roar! A 1,000-meter-long black-red dragon darted through the sky, its clear and majestic roar echoing as it soared into the heavens. Cheng Bingxi, Nanguang Xiao, and Liu Ya stared in disbelief. Suddenly, a dragon's head emerged from the clouds, its warm breath brushing against the faces of the three beautiful beast girls. What the hell? Nanguang Xiao stamped her foot angrily. How dare you scare us? Kingsu, you're asking for it. Sisters, come on up, sit on my head, the black-red dragon said in a menacing voice, opening its massive jaws. Nanguang Xiao's beautiful eyes lit up. She grabbed Cheng Bingxi and leaped onto the dragon's enormous head. Liu flashed to the top as well, and the three beautiful beast girls slumped onto the dragon's massive fur. I'll take you for a ride. Mu Kingsu exclaimed excitedly. This was her first time summoning a dragon-contracted beast. She had never done it before, so she was understandably excited and eager to play around. Xiao Ye's face darkened. Why did everyone want to sit on his head? In a flash, a bold idea formed in his mind. He exited his summoned beast form, returned to his human form, and appeared atop the massive head of the black-red candle dragon, behind the three stunningly beautiful young female beast girls. Before the three could even notice him, he used his innate skill, Time Stop, can pause for 5 seconds at the same cultivation level. The pause time is reduced for those above his own cultivation level. Can be used for both groups and single targets. Mysterious and profound factors erupted from Xiao Ye's body. These factors moved along a certain trajectory, triggering the power of time's rules in this world, allowing it to take effect. A shocking scene unfolded. In this small space atop the candle dragon's head, the three beautiful beast girls seemed frozen in place, completely immobile. But Xiao Ye knew that they were more than just frozen, their time had completely stopped. He rubbed his hands together, walked up to the three completely frozen beast girls, and a wicked smile appeared on his face. He pinched Nanguang Xiao's proud breasts, touched Cheng Bingxi's long legs, and patted Liu Ya's round and perky buttocks. The feel was wonderful. But the three women were completely unaware, their minds still fixed on the time before it stopped. 5 seconds isn't a long time, but it's not short either. It passed quickly. Once the three women were free from the time freeze, they discovered a handsome figure suddenly appearing before them. Why do I feel an itch on my chest, like it's been roughly ravaged? The well-endowed young woman, Nanguang Xiao, looked around in horror, her hair standing on end. My legs were touched too, quite deeply, all the way to my thighs. Cheng Bingxi frowned. Liu Yang also felt a strange sensation on her perky buttocks and immediately looked at Xiao Ye with a scrutinizing gaze. He was the only newcomer here. These things could only have been done by Xiao Ye. The effects of actions taken during the time stop will be reflected the moment the time stop ends, so Xiao Ye had no intention of hiding it and laughed. Don't be suspicious, I did it. I tested the power of time stop. Upon hearing this, the three stunningly beautiful young female beast girls widened their eyes in surprise. Time stop? That's time stop. A legendary and awesome ability. A talent skill that can stop time. Wouldn't that make you invincible? Yet, in battles between experts, a fraction of a second can be enough to take an enemy's head. Even if you can only stop time for a second, you'd be invincible. Alice, it's a pity we're not meant to be. This is exclusive to Kingsu and Xiao Ye. There's no other beast girl template with a time-related attribute in the world. Nanguang Xiao, with her rather eccentric thoughts, leaned closer and said mischievously, you just touched us, didn't do anything else, like, you know? Xiao Ye's lips curled up slightly, and he said with a wicked smile, so what if I did? You're my contractor, I can do whatever I want. Nanguang Xiao said excitedly, then can I experience what it feels like to have time around me stopped? Don't stop my time, okay? Xiao was about to nod and say yes. But Cheng Bingxi flicked her forehead and scolded, Xiao, don't corrupt Xiao Ye. How can you use such a mysterious ability so casually? It consumes a lot of energy. Oh, I know. Nanguang Xiao outwardly agreed with a sullen face, but her beautiful eyes darted around, lost in thought. Cheng Bingxi, his beast girl wife, managed the beast girl family very well, and Xiao Ye was very satisfied. Cheng Bingxi had made a great contribution to keeping his own backyard from going wrong. As his childhood sweetheart, she was also very magnanimous and forgiving. After speaking to Nangguang Xiao, Chang Bingxi leaned forward, gave her a kiss, and said with a grin, Xiao Ye, husband, pause Xiao's time for a moment Xiao Ye and I can see the power of time-based abilities. Nangguang Xiao? Her eyes widened in disbelief. Oh, Bingxi, you told me not to corrupt Xiao Ye, but you're the one who's corrupting him. Is that appropriate? Chang Bingxi wrapped her arms around Xiao Ye's arm, pressing herself against him, and laughed. Xiao Ye is much worse than we think. He doesn't need us to corrupt him, he's a bad boy to begin with. Xiao Ye's lips twitched, his face expressionless. So, in your eyes, I'm that bad. Fine, then I'll be bad for you to see. Nangguang Xiao laughed heartily. Bingxi, be careful you don't get your time stopped. Time stop, 5 seconds, talent skill activated. After Xiao Ye used the time factor to activate his talent skill, the target was a single person, Nangguang Xiao. In a flash, Nangguang Xiao froze, clutching her stomach and laughing. She was crouching there, her face beaming with joy. Wow, is this the effect of time being stopped? It seems only she's had time stopped, the surrounding environment isn't. Cheng Bingxi and Liu Ya curiously pinched Nangguang Xiao's face and chest, surprised to find she didn't react at all. Outside, time slowly passed, and the two girls were even more astonished to discover that a full 5 seconds had elapsed. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.